What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
3RH061, fascinated by thousands of girls. Luo Qiye, how can you trust me? Advertisement. Stussy looked at the boy in front of him, and couldn't help being stunned for a moment. The corners of the boy's mouth slightly opened, revealing a smile. His short black hair was blown up by the wind, revealing a face that was prettier than a girl's. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised, and his eyes were as black as ink, like an abyss, as if hiding a devil, but it just makes people want to take a look and be fascinated by it, wearing a light-colored dress inside and a long black trench coat outside. Black hair and black pupils, eyes like abyss. The face is as sharp as a knife, handsome and handsome. Even Stussy, who is the queen of the pleasure district, couldn't help being stunned by this beauty. Before, she only thought Luo Qiye was handsome. Today, after taking a closer look, I realized that Luo Qiye's handsomeness, if not too young, must be enough to fascinate thousands of girls. Luo Qiye felt Stussy's gaze, and wondered if there was something wrong with the way this woman looked at him. This is the windbreaker outfit you helped me choose. Luo Qiye looked at his outfit up and down, and it was not bad. How do you feel that the 24 outfits look familiar? After thinking about it carefully, Luo Qiye found that the outfit that Stussy chose for him actually collided with Kirito in the sword. If he carries a long sword on his back, and with his black hair and black pupils, he will look like a Kirito. Sure enough, are the aesthetic views of women in the two-dimensional world the same? Never mind. Luo Qiye didn't bother to care about it, but fortunately, this outfit is quite stylish, and it is quite comfortable to wear, and I don't feel uncomfortable. There are also a few sets of matching, which are also good. Stussy quickly picked up the shopping bag, paid the money, and followed behind Luo Qiye. She helped Luo Qiye choose several outfits, including a black windbreaker and a white robe, all kinds of dresses, without exception, all fit very well, and they looked very handsome on Luo Qiye. The two bought some more things. Go back to the pirate ship. Under the watchful eyes of many pirates, he left the island. Not long after Luo Qiye's pirate ship left, several pirate groups on the small island also set sail. Without exception, they all wanted to follow Luo Qiye's rear, and wanted to witness the battle between Luo Qiye and Whitebeard with their own eyes. He said he would give Whitebeard's son as a gift to Whitebeard. Do you think that Whitebeard will be furious on the spot and use the power of shock fruit to cause a tsunami? I can't say for sure, but I can be sure that it is destined to be an epic battle. If we are lucky enough to witness all that with our own eyes, it will be enough for us to brag about the rest of our lives. Advertisement. How long has it been since no one dared to challenge that man? He is the strongest man in the world. Besides, Luo Qiye is only in his teens. This is destined to be an epic battle written into the history of pirates. Hurry up and keep up, they're fast. Luo Qiye naturally knew about the pirate ship following behind. But he didn't know what those people were discussing. He also doesn't bother to use Observation Haki. Now Luo Qiye longs for someone to trouble him. With Luo Qiye's current strength, as long as the Deputy Emperor level does not come, he will have no fear at all. Unless the three major disasters of the Beast's pirates, or category of the Big Dot Mom pirates and other Vice Emperors come, Luo Qiye is not afraid of anything. As for the Blackbeard gang, as scary as it is. But if it develops according to the original plot, Blackbeard should be leading a few members at this time, and they are carrying out the so-called hunting operation in the first half of the Grand Line, trying to fulfill the conditions for becoming 7 warlords of the sea. Etc. Luo Qiye suddenly thought of a question. As for the pirates, the Vice Emperor does not come out, he is not afraid of anything. But the Marine part was ignored by me. If Marine 3 Admiral comes, I can't seem to beat it. Luo Qiye shook his head. What a joke. Is Marine 3 Admiral free? Would you take a special trip to New World just for yourself, a 10-year-old child? This is impossible. According to the description in the original book, Marine and Admiral are very busy every day. Various tasks to win a horse. In addition to Marine's mission, Marine 3 Admiral also has to protect celestial dragons, and is dispatched by celestial dragons. How can I have time to care about my 10-year-old child? Luo Qiye no longer thinks about these boring things. Advertisement. Luo Qiye looked at Wble, who was tied to the mast with his arms and legs broken. Hey, you two, when you fought with him before, did you let the water go on purpose? Baron Dandan and Stussy were stunned when they heard this sentence. Without, Baron Eggy felt his scalp go numb for a while. Master Qiye, I really didn't let the water go. I really didn't beat him. Luo Qiye thought about it. Baron Dandan was beaten miserably by himself before, and he probably has not fully recovered from his injuries, and he lost his cane and sword. Later, in order to board the boat, he cut off his arm again. Inevitably, you sort of explain it. Luo Qiye turned to Stussy. What about you? Master Qiye. Stussy was already mentally prepared. She explained, you should know that my combat power is actually not strong, it all depends on Observation Haki and Marine 6 styles. But, she pointed at Wble, his Observation Haki is in my on top of that, the few slashes seemed to lock me in, there was nowhere to hide, and I could only resist, my defense is not strong. Luo Qiye shook his head. Did not speak. But the more this happened, the more Stussy felt terrible about Luo Qiye. Just like 693 is like a devil, people can't see what he is thinking at all. I haven't gained Luo Qiye's trust yet. When Stussy thought of this, he couldn't help feeling a chill down his spine. She bit her red lips, and asked in a low voice, Master Qiye, how can I trust me? Quote. Luo Qiye was just asking casually, but who knew that Stussy would be so serious? He showed a weird smile, playing with taste, it depends on your own performance. Stussy's gaze met Luo Qiye's terrifying gaze, and he felt that this boy in front of him, under his innocent 10-year-old appearance, hides a terrifying heart that can swallow the abyss. Where is a 10-year-old kid? Even putting aside the shocking combat power, his mentality, his eyes, his pair of black eyes, which one is not as terrifying as a devil? After Luo Qiye finished speaking, he turned around with a smile and entered the cabin. Stussy bit her red lips with her silver teeth, and bravely stepped on her straight and slender legs, stepped on her high-heeled shoes, and followed in. Baron Eggy thinks it's quite normal. The strong, the monsters, develop early, and they are also within the scope of science. Look at what? Baron Egg found that Wble, who had been knocked out, woke up suddenly, and was looking stupidly at the direction where Stussy and Luo Qiye disappeared, and he kicked the latter unconscious again. You should just faint. It's not something you should see. 062. Who do you think I am? Bring me the boat. Open black lens bracket seeking automatic subscription close black lens bracket. Advertisement. New world. On Red Force. It's interesting. Ben Beckman held a newspaper and said with a cigarette in his mouth, the news is getting more and more mysterious now, and it has completely turned into 7 nights challenging Whitebeard. Guhahaha. Lackey Lu will never leave his hands on the barbecue. He laughed and said, I really look forward to the day when Qiye singles out Whitebeard. At that time, I will definitely bet 1,000,000 Baileys. Gamble on 7 nights and win. A few cadres nearby also laughed and booed. Hey, you guys, aren't you worried at all? Only Usopp looked worried. With Qiye's haughty character, he might really anger the Whitebeard pirates. Everyone thought about it. Yes, Qiye was quite arrogant on weekdays, her chin was raised high. Will not. Ben Beckman shook his head. As Whitebeard, how could he attack the 10-year-old Qiye? Laji Lu just nodded and shook his head again. Then what if Captain Yi makes a move? At least there will be no danger to life, nothing more than being beaten. Dejay said with a smile, that boy Qiye is fine with being beaten up. Ben Beckman said expressionlessly, guess what Whitebeard said when he saw Qiye? Little devil, are you crazy? Little devil, let me taste the terrifying fist like an earthquake. Several cadres laughed in disgust. At this time, Usopp suddenly said, no. I think Whitebeard might say, little devil, come be my son. Quote. Everyone's eyes widened at first, wanting to laugh, but then one after another showed shock on their faces. This is really possible. It's over. We red hair pirates have lost a talented member. Advertisement. Normally, except for traitors like Blackbeard, once pirates join a pirate group, they will definitely serve the captain. Well, after all, Qiye is only 10 years old, how can a child understand this? Everyone sighed. They all looked at the redhead. Everyone. Captain, what do you think? Redhair. How can I see? Is it too late to get Luo Qiye back now? Time flies. A few days of sailing time passed quickly. The weather in the new world is unpredictable. Just a moment ago, the sea was still sunny and the scenery was pleasant. At this moment, the sky was suddenly covered with dark clouds, dark thunderclouds, and lightning cruising in the clouds, illuminating the sea below from time to time. The waves roared, like an abyss monster that could devour everything. It was extremely terrifying. Master Qiye, you should hurry back to the cabin and rest. Eggy Baron quickly retracted all the sails, he shouted. Luo Qiye, who was still lying on the deck enjoying the sunshine in the rocking chair, had to go back to the cabin. He looked up at the dark sky. The sudden rain and strong wind poured down. He sighed, it would be great if I could control the weather as I like. If you want the wind to get the wind, and the rain to get the rain, that would be refreshing. Master Qiye's goal is really great. Stussy took shelter from the rain in the cabin, she took off her wet high heels, and stepped on the ground with her bare feet. She said softly, even the 4 emperors of the new world can only partially change the weather of the world. If Lord Qiye can really control the weather as he pleases, then he must stand on the 4 emperors. Luo Qiye glanced at Stussy's slender and beautiful legs that were as clean as jade, and wanted to make a joke, but his voice was suddenly interrupted by a thunderbolt. Boom. Lightning cut down from the sky, and the terrifying dazzling silver streaked across the darkness, illuminating the rolling and roaring waves on the sea. Luo Qiye suddenly turned his head to look backward. Stussy and Baron Eggs looked over almost at the same time. But under the light of the lightning, a huge pirate ship was heading towards them at a fast speed. Because the sails were retracted, Luo Qiye's pirate ship almost stopped moving forward. Advertisement. And the pirates who originally wanted to witness the battle between Luo Qiye and Whitebeard behind them also closed their sails in almost the same way. After a few days of accumulation, there are now more than a dozen pirate ships following Luo Qiye and the others not far behind. And the number is increasing. But at this time, the huge pirate ship behind him didn't intend to stop at all. Look at that ferocious posture, it is going to hit directly. Banners of the beast's pirates. Mammoth. Stussy and Baron Eggs spoke one after the other. Luo Qiye was slightly surprised. Unexpectedly, Drought Jack came to the door. Drought Jack was driven into the bottom of the sea by Ben Beckman, and he will definitely be salvaged. As a murloc, even if he ate devil fruit and became a landlubber, he would not be drowned by sea water. Rear. On the pitch-black sea, the mammoth did not furl up its sails, but took advantage of the strong wind to move forward quickly. On deck, Beast's pirates reel hips hide, standing in the wind and rain, holding a specially modified telescope, saw the scene ahead under the light of the lightning, and shouted, "Captain! Pirate ship was found ahead. It seems that they are the one called a member of Qiye's Redhair pirates." "Go ahead." The torrential rain poured down on Drought Jack, Limos, but he didn't realize it. "Come to me and tear them apart." Can. Sip's head hesitated for a moment, he gritted his teeth and said, "There are more than a dozen pirate ships ahead. This must be arranged by the Redhair pirates for that member named Qiye." 17. The information of the Beast's pirates was wrong. They didn't know about the dozen or so pirate ships, they just followed Luo Qiye and the others, wanting to watch the excitement. Be defaulted to protect Luo Qiye. Sip's head continued, "Captain, are we going to turn around?" Roar. Drought Jack let out a roar and turned into a mammoth form. He yelled loudly, almost roaring. "You turn. Ridiculous. Who do you think I am? Bring the boat to me. I'm going to take them all. Rip it all up." 063. Overwhelming power. What are you guys laughing at? 6/10. Kneeling for automatic subscription. Advertisement. On the surface of the black Yorwichi-like sea, relying on the illumination of the lightning that sometimes cuts through the sky, the pirates behind also found the mammoth. Mammoth by Beast's pirates. Not good. It's a Drought, Jack. Hiss. Drought, one of the three major disasters of the Beast's pirates, Jack. How did he appear here? Maybe he came to look for Qiye from the Redhair pirates. Drought, Jack. I heard that he turned the Doc Jones Islands into a desert a few days ago, like a drought passing through the border, where there is no grass. It is extremely terrifying. Dark Jones Islands. Isn't that the land where the great pirate with a bounty of 890 million and death's scythe Willem Ducker sits? So what? That's a drought, Jack. It's over. They're coming at us. Damn it, damn it. Run away. One by one, the pirates who were planning to watch the excitement, panicked and fled in all directions. However, since they had lowered their sails, facing the unusually fast mammoth, their speed of escape seemed unusually slow. Boom. The shadow that covered the sky and the sun was cast. It turned out to be the Drought Jack. I saw that he was holding a strangely shaped shorter knife in each hand, and leapt away in the shape of a half-mammoth man, with two terrifying grips. Gotcha. It happened that two bolts of lightning fell from the sky. Silver thunder. 780 reflections on Drought Jack's double knives. Boundless horror. Extremely frightening. The two terrifying slashes, even at the moment of slashing out, continue to grow in size, turning into two slashes hundreds of meters long, huge shocking slashing wave. Under this terrifying chopping wave, one after another pirate ship was cut in half. The pirates on the pirate ship screamed in fear one by one. Accompanied by the cut in half pirate ship, the sea engulfs. These two slashes not only wiped out one pirate ship, but also created two monstrous waves, which rolled towards the front at a terrifying speed. The waves are monstrous and terrifying. Boom. Drought Jack landed on the deck, making a deafening sound. And the pirates on the mammoth, seeing their Captain Jack, was so fierce and terrifying that he killed 7 or 8 pirate ships with just one blow. All of a sudden they shouted excitedly. "The captain is invincible. Kill, kill, kill. Follow the captain, kill everything. No grass grows anywhere the mammoth passes. Follow Captain Jack's footsteps and kill. The people of the Redhair pirates must be buried in this sea today, and we, the mammoth, must be ashamed." Advertisement. Lean up, taste CEBC, the power of our mammoth. Kill, kill, kill. Just like on the surface of the sea in the dark night, the violent wind and rain are constantly roaring and pouring down, and the turbulent waves are rolling back, but the pirates on the mammoth are extremely excited. They came here this time to avenge their shame. It was when I met the Redhair pirates that their captain, Jack, was thrown into the bottom of the sea. Boom. The mammoth rushed forward at a faster speed, and the pirate ships that had not yet completely sunk into the bottom of the sea were directly smashed into powder flakes, and those pirates struggling in the sea were also ruthlessly crushed. Roll over. Death and darkness seemed to be spreading. Luo Qiye's pirate ship is close at hand. The mammoth didn't intend to stop at all. With an endless roar, it stirred up huge waves tens of meters in length, and rammed straight towards Luo Qiye's pirate ship with unrivaled momentum, ferocity and domineering power. Go. Master Qiye. Baron Eggy held Wble's naginata and was placed on the deck by Luo Qiye. At this time, he looked back at Luo Qiye with some trepidation, and shouted, "Drought Jack. I'm coming." He meant to ask, should we turn the bow of the boat and avoid it? However, Luo Qiye obviously won't turn the bow. Who is he, Luo Qiye? How can it be avoided? Dodging. That's not my style. Luo Qiye stood on top of the cabin, looking at the huge monster that was rushing straight ahead. The strong wind blew his black windbreaker into a fluttering sound. He looked as usual, fearless. "Come on. Let me see the beauty of this world-top combat power. What is it?" "Jack, the ability to rely on the fruit of the boat." Baron Eggs and Stussy felt their scalps go numb. At this time, they seemed to feel that Luo Qiye has a will to fear everything in the world. This momentum, even the king who is 1 in a million cannot stand shoulder to shoulder with him. He deserves to be the top conqueror's hockey owner. Boom. It's too late to say it. The mammoth came directly with a huge wave, and with the power of thunder, it came with a bang. Boom. Almost at the same time as the two pirate ships collided, above the sky, a long piece of lightning chain pierced the sky, bursting out with endless silver light, completely closing the sea like a night. Boom. Advertisement. The mammoth smashed Luo Qiye's pirate ship on the spot. It's like cutting it in half, and it's directly crushed into 2 pieces. The torrential waves are rolling back, and the heavy rain is accompanied by countless broken pieces of wood flying out. The mammoth also tilted suddenly, shook violently, and kept shaking, but it didn't break. The hull was as solid as gold, extremely strong. The pirates who managed to escape in the distance, seeing this scene, widened their eyes and showed panic. Is it smashed like this? Where is Qiye? I thought he was going to block the mammoth. Drought Jack, it's so scary. It's not true, it can't be true. Qiye wants to challenge the existence of Whitebeard, so, will he die in the hands of Drought Jack? The sound of horror kept ringing. Especially the members of the beast's pirates on the mammoth roared excitedly. One hit kills. The so-called person who can challenge Whitebeard, is nothing more than that. A brat who is so vulnerable wants to challenge the 4 emperors in vain. Don't be foolish. I thought the kid from the Redhair pirates was so powerful. Today, we buried him in the sea before we sold it. Ha ha ha. However, next second, the raging laughter stopped abruptly. Because, above the dark sky, a cold light suddenly appeared, and a long sword, like a sword of judgment, was suspended above the heads of the pirates on the mammoth. What are you laughing at? Luo Qiye stepped on the long sword, hovering above Drought Jack's head. The torrential rain, not a single drop touched Luo Qiye's black windbreaker. As if the rain between heaven and earth is controlled by it. Etc. That is, many pirates on the mammoth raised their heads one after another, looking at Luo Qiye above their heads in horror, and the next moment, their pupils shrank suddenly. Lightning flashed, and they could clearly see the raindrops around Luo Qiye. Hiss. That's a rain sword. 064. Jaw-dropping. God. A miracle. Open black lens bracket. Ask for an automatic subscription. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. The torrential rain that poured down turned into pocket water swords around Luo Qiye's body, suspended behind Luo Qiye. As the rainstorm continued to fall, pocket swords continued to form. The dense rain swords are shocking and extremely terrifying. A majestic and endless sword intent spread from Luo Qiye's body. And the long sword under his feet is obviously just an ordinary long sword, but it can carry people to fly, like a miracle. Simply unheard of. Thorn. Above the sky, lightning flashed again, and the silver light shone on Luo Qiye. In an instant, he descended to earth like a god, looking down at the pirates below, as if he was in a speck of dust. God. Miracle. What ability is this? The supreme swordsman. Manipulate the rain curtain, and carry people into the sky with the long sword. Is this still a human? It's too much to frighten the world. The pirates who saw this scene in the distance were all shocked, and stared at Luo Qiye above the mammoth with dumbfounded expressions. For a moment, they even regarded Luo Qiye as a god. But the beast's pirates on the mammoth were subconsciously swallowing their saliva at this moment, too nervous to move. He's not dead. No, not only is he not dead, he's unscathed. Is this a human or a ghost? Why can he step on the long sword and fly? Could it be that the end of swordsmanship, is it really flying with the sword? The majestic and endless terrifying sword intent on his body. Even the world's #1 swordsman, Hawkeye, is nothing more than that. Boat. Captain. What shall we do? The pirates on the mammoth panicked. Luo Qiye showed an ability they had never seen before. This kind of terrifying ability, even if they belong to the 4 Emperor's Beasts pirates, even if they are stained with the blood of an unknown number of people, they can't stop heart trembling. Open black lens bracket. Ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you got plus 6,666 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye got his wish and received the notification from the system. Master Qiye. Meanwhile, Stussy is the first to land on the mammoth with Marine 6 styles moonwalk. Advertisement. Next came Baron Eggs, dragging the gigantic Wble. Unexpectedly, at such a dangerous moment, this guy has not forgotten Luo Qiye's previous explanation. Let him guard Wble, Luo Yahui will present it to Whitebeard as a gift. During these few days of sailing, Wble's broken hands and feet miraculously healed himself. The terrifying life force is staggering. But in order to prevent him from resisting and escaping, every time he wakes up, he will be knocked unconscious by Baron Eggy immediately. At this time, I was washed away by seawater and heavy rain, and woke up again. But he is still in a state of confusion, and he has no idea what happened. With his intelligence, if he wants to figure out the situation in front of him, I'm afraid it won't work every tens of minutes. Surround them. Sip's head saw the 3 boarding the mammoth and immediately gave an order. Many pirates from the beast's pirates took action one after another, and surrounded Stussy and Baron Egg in the storm. At the same time, Sip's head had the courage to forcefully suppress the fear in his heart, looked up at Luo Qiye above, and shouted in a trembling voice, "Little brat. I advise you to surrender obediently, otherwise, once Captain Jack makes a move, you will die on this sea." But at this time, the Drought Jack had already stared at Luo Qiye with those eyes as big as copper bells. Heavy breathing sounded, and 2 white auras spewed out from the trunk of the human beast Drought Jack. Luo Qiye made him recall the previous scene. That day. Luo Qiye is also so arrogant, and he is also standing on a high place and looking down at them, and his mouth is just like today, uttering wild words. Then, his Drought Jack was thrown into the bottom of the sea by Ben Beckman. What a shame. It is an unprecedented shame and humiliation. Shocking killing intent spreads around Jack in the drought. His anger is constantly rolling, stacking, and rising. However, Luo Qiye completely ignored his existence. He looked down at the three Stussies who were surrounded by them, and the beasts pirates around them. He laughed and said, Big Edward Wble. He pointing at the many beasts pirates, he continued, if you kill all the pirates in front of you, I will let you go back, find your mother. Asking for flowers. Really. Advertisement. Edward Wble brushed his face, trying to clean the rainwater from his face, but at this moment, half of the snot bubble was left, and he even applied the snot all over his face for a while. This funny appearance immediately made many beasts pirates laugh out loud. Ha ha ha, where did this fool come from? Growing such a big man in vain, is he actually a fool? It's ridiculous. Brat, is this your subordinate? When did red-hair pirates start adopting snot-soaked idiots? If this gets out, the red-haired face will be lost. Ha ha ha. Raging laughter sounded, and they seemed to have forgotten the previous fear, and for a while, they were all very proud. 0. Really? Edward Wble ignored the jeering pirates, he looked up at Luo Qiye earnestly, and asked again. Certainly. Luo Qiye nodded, if I can kill them all, I will naturally do what I say and let you go. But, whether you can find your mother is up to you. Good. Edward Wble excitedly agreed to come down. Luo Qiye looked at Baron Dandan, give him the naginata. Yes. Baron Eggy didn't hesitate at all, he completely obeyed Luo Qiye's words, and threw the naginata to Wble. After receiving the weapon, Wble instantly became more ferocious. He looked at the pirates surrounding them and shouted, let's go together. Just you big fool, we'll chop you into pieces later, and let you go to heaven to find your mother. Ha ha ha, Captain Jack, let's kill them first. Sip's head ordered that many pirates from the beasts pirates aimed their weapons at Wble one after another. They didn't talk about martial arts, hacking the enemy is the last word. Swish swish swish, pirates rushed towards Wble. Roar. Wble didn't have the slightest intention to back down. With a loud roar, a terrifying power burst out suddenly, and he swung the naginata in his hand, and slashed at many pirates. He only believes in Luo Qiye's words, if he kills all the pirates in front of him, he will be released to find his old mother Wang. 065. 1 billion rewards. In my eyes, ivory is worth 900 million. You are only 100 million. Advertisement. Bang bang bang. With just one face-to-face meeting, the dozens of pirates who rushed to kill were all cut into the air by the naginata empowered by Wble's terrifying and strange power. Blood spilled. Pirates flew upside down with screams, crashed into the fence, and the painful wailing sounded out one after another in the storm. The pungent smell of blood came. Kill him. Sip's head of the man-made zone saw this scene, he was furious, he turned into a sheep form, covered armament haki all over his body, especially the pair of horns, which looked particularly ferocious. Many pirates headed by him formed an encirclement circle again and charged towards Wble. Mom, I'm here to see you. Wble looked crazy. He roared, armament haki covered his arm and the naginata in his hand suddenly rotated, and the whistling sound burst out. Bang bang bang. The 403 pirates headed by Sip's head were cut off again. It can be seen how terrifying Wble's power is. Naturally born with strange power, it's really amazing. That burly body, nearly 7 meters high, carries terrifying destructive power. However, at this moment, an extremely huge shadow appeared above Wble. You know, Wble is nearly 7 meters tall. Under this shadow, he was like a child. Edward Wble raised his head impressively, looked up, and saw a giant armament haki covered in jet black, appearing impressively. At this moment, a dark and huge elephant trunk swept over with an ear-piercing whistling sound and suffocating destructive power. Edward Wble was instantly swept away by this elephant trunk. Kacha. The sound of the deck cracking was heard, but it was Edward Wble who fell down heavily, and all the pirates of the beasts pirates were knocked out, coughing up blood, and seriously injured. Roar, roar. 2 wild beast-like roars sounded almost simultaneously. It was deafening, earth-shattering, circles of sound waves vibrated, and scattered the torrential rain that poured down. Edward Wble got to his feet, snarling and yelling, trying to get up and fight back. Advertisement. Don't wait for him to rush forward. The attack of that behemoth swept across again impressively. This moment, thunder and lightning. The thunder light from the sky illuminates the Drought Jack, that is an extremely terrifying full-body mammoth, every part of his body is covered with black as ink armament haki, it is extremely terrifying. Boom. Edward Wble was once again swept away by the black elephant trunk with the force of thunder. It fell heavily on the deck far away, and a hole broke out in the incomparably strong deck. PFF'd. Edward Wble in the hole keeps coughing up blood. His burly and fat body has broken countless ribs. He wanted to get up with difficulty, but he couldn't move at all, fell to the ground with serious injuries, unable to get up, and completely lost his fighting power. Boom. Immediately he even passed out. 2 whips. Drought Jack only took 2 whips. Completely defeated the invincible Edward Wble who swept away many pirates, and even made him completely lose his fighting power. It is the New World 4 Emperors, the Beast's Pirates' big billboard, and one of the 3 major disasters, Drought Jack. Its strength is terrifying, as can be seen from Madara. Hiss. Seeing Jack's attack from a distance, the pirates all gasped. Under the heavy rain, they could only vaguely see the drought. Jack made a move, and with just 2 whips, he completely defeated the terrifying Wble. What a terrifying combat power this is. As expected of the big sign of the beast's pirates. Drought, one of the 3 major disasters. You say, he and Qiye, which one is stronger and which one is weaker? I can't tell. Don't forget, Qiye caught Wble's terrifying slash with one hand. Hiss. Advertisement. Speaking of this, many people gasped again. They were able to witness today's battle with their own eyes, which is the most proud thing in their pirate career. Aboard the Mammoth, Captain Jack is invincible. Yay, Boss Jack is mighty. Those beasts pirates who could still get up cheered up and their morale was boosted. One by one, they took up their weapons again and aimed at Stussy and Baron Eggs. Ha ha ha, your strongest combat power has already fallen, what else do you use to fight us? As expected of a sheep fruit capable user, Sip's head has amazing defensive power. After being chopped off by Wble, he looked completely unharmed. Captain, leave these 2 to us. 17. Drought Jack got rid of Wble. This huge ancient mammoth suddenly raised his head and looked up. Luo Qiye stepped on the sword hanging in the air. Drought Jack's 2 terrifying ivory, with amazing coercion, facing the sky, white chi gushed from between its trunks. Today, you must die here. Yeah, who would have thought that Luo Qiye still had a calm appearance? During the heavy rain, his black windbreaker didn't get a drop of rain, and there were pocket rain swords floating around him. His voice was not loud, but it spread across the sea. Listen. Speaking of drought, Jack's bounty is as high as 1 billion berry, it's really appalling. Ha ha ha. When Sips had heard this, he thought that Luo Qiye was cowardly, so he quickly flattered Jack. Little devil, if you are afraid, come down now and offer your head to the captain obediently, so that you can avoid the pain of being separated from the corpse. Yeah, Luo Qiye smiled, but his voice was still unpredictable, but it spread across the nearby sea and entered everyone's ears. Is there a reward of 1 billion? But in my eyes, your 2 ivory are worth hundreds of millions. The remaining 100 million is your true strength. Wow. Those pirates who were not willing to escape in the distance heard Luo Qiye's words, and there was an uproar. This tone is too arrogant. Not arrogant. You know, he's the man who's going to challenge Whitebeard. Drought Jack's 1 billion bounty, in his eyes, as only the value of 2 ivory. As this the 3.8 mysterious strongman from Redhair Pirates. The tone is really amazing. If I hadn't seen him make a move with my own eyes, I would definitely think he is a lunatic. While the pirates in the distance were discussing, the beast's pirates on the mammoth below Luo Qiye also made their voices. Only, what they uttered was gnashing of teeth and rage. Crazy, so crazy, brat, even if the red-haired Shanks is here, he wouldn't dare to be so arrogant. Captain Jack will definitely tear you to pieces. Let the red hair come in person, and you won't recognize your corpse. Captain Jack, kill him. The roar keeps on, but it didn't affect Luo Qiye at all. He was still calm, standing proudly above, condescendingly said, isn't what I said. A person with the ability to rely on a boat. Jack. 066. Heaven did not give birth to me Luo Qiye, swordsmanship is like a long night. Come the sword. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you got plus 6,777 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye's voice once again caused a commotion below. Especially the Drought Jack, his anger has already been completely ignited. Roar. Jack in mammoth form let out a maddened roar. Seeing that Luo Qiye had no intention of coming down, he resolutely changed back to human form. Jack with 2 knives and a pair of big copper bell eyes stared at Luo Qiye in the sky, glaring. Little devil, I will definitely chop you into a pulp. Boom. Drought Jack's feet suddenly exerted strength, and his whole body was like a terrifying nuclear bomb. With endless anger and terrifying lethality, he charged forward. The heavy rain can't affect it in the slightest. Charge forward and slash Luo Qiye angrily. This moment, all the pirates in the distance took out their night vision goggles, and some took out their binoculars, staring at this battle one by one. They have already prepared all the equipment to watch the battle. Don't want to miss any details of 24. They risked their lives to follow Luo Qiye's rear, just to witness Luo Qiye's battle. Although the ultimate goal is to witness Luo Qiye challenge Whitebeard. But during the voyage, if you see other big pirates fighting Luo Qiye, you can't miss it. How wonderful is this level of battle? I can witness it with my own eyes, and I have no regrets in my pirate career. This may be the most thrilling battle I have ever witnessed since I went to sea. This damn bad weather. Now it's noon, and it's so dark that I can't see the front clearly. The horrible weather, I just want to witness this battle clearly. The rainstorm was really too big. Even though they had prepared long ago, had binoculars, and night vision goggles, they could still see vaguely and vaguely. Complaints are complaints, but their eyes didn't want to leave half a minute. Gotcha. Lightning pierced the sky again, illuminating the dark sea. I saw the Drought Jack with 2 knives, with the heart of killing, rolled up an endless wave of air, in the rainstorm, rushed into the sky, and killed Luo Qiye. This terrible battle, let everyone tremble. Advertisement. Can. Just when everyone felt that the battle was destined to be earth-shattering. Just when Drought Jack rushed forward, slashing at Luo Qiye with 2 knives. Luo Qiye flew downwards calmly, and those delicate white hands stretched out so directly, and grabbed towards Drought Jack's pair of knives rushing upwards with endless destructive power. Drought Jack didn't stop when he saw this. As long as he made a move, he would never show mercy to the enemy. In his maxim, to have mercy on the enemy is to insult the enemy. As long as he makes a move, he will definitely attack and kill with a strong heart. No matter who the opponent is. No matter when the opponent is strong or weak. The people of the Beast's pirates below all showed great joy when they saw this scene. This brat named Qiye is really arrogant and ignorant. He dared to steal Captain Jack's double swords with his bare hands. What an idiot. He doesn't know how many big pirates with hundreds of millions of rewards have been killed by Captain Jack's 2 knives. How many big pirates' weapons have been cut off by these 2 knives? How many big pirates have been cut off by Captain Jack's 2 knives head off? Arrogant and conceited brat. This is undoubtedly asking for death. It seems that the vivid description of him in the newspapers is just an exaggeration. Ha ha ha, please don't blink next time, let's witness the interesting bloody scene of Captain Jack killing the red-hair pirates in seconds. However, next moment, but it made all the people of Beast's pirates widen their eyes. Luo Qiye, who was flying upside down, with his outstretched hands, caught the Drought Jack with ease, and the double swords that were slashing upwards. Empty hands. No superfluous actions. No fancy prep. No armament hockey coverage. With such a simple empty hand, he caught the double knives stained with the blood of an unknown number of big pirates. This. Impossible. This is impossible. It's impossible. Impossible. How can this be done? In this world, even Master Kaido cannot catch Captain Jack's double swords with his bare hands. Advertisement. He caught Captain Jack's swords with his bare hands. Isn't this real? This is definitely a dream. Wake me up. This is definitely a dream. Snapped. Beast's pirates below, the companion next to the pirate, slapped him on the face as he requested, and after the slap, he also demanded, quick, slap me too. Snapped. Quote exclamation mark. It really hurts. No. It turned out to be real. I really saw a teenage kid catch Captain Jack's terrifying double power with his bare hands. My god. This world. What's wrong? Damn it. That brat. Who the hell is it? Shock. All the pirates of Beast's pirates below are collectively shocked. Some of them thought of what Luo Qiye said before. In their eyes, the invincible Captain Jack has offered a reward of 1,900,000,000 is worth more than ivory. Thinking of this, they were even more shocked. They even forgot that there were 2 enemies before them. One by one, the pirates stared at the sky with unbelievable eyes. They were all dumbfounded, and they couldn't believe the 507 scene they saw. Time seems to be frozen. Shocked people, not only them. At this moment, Jack himself, who was rushing up against the drought with the heart of killing him, was even more shocked to the point where he couldn't be more shocked. He has been a pirate for so many years, has experienced countless battles, and no one has ever dared to take his double swords empty-handed. No one has ever succeeded. He has been the big board of the 4 Emperor's Beasts pirates these years, he has been defeated, and even more successfully beheaded the enemy. The pair of knives in his hand were stained with countless blood, and the severed head could circle the mammoth dozens of times. Looking at the entire sea of New World, looking at the entire Grand Line, Luo Qiye is the first one to catch his 2-sword enemy empty-handed. Drought Jack stared at Luo Qiye with a pair of elephant eyes, and he roared to the sky, roar. Then he drew back his swords and turned into a human beast form. Using force out of thin air, armament hockey instantly covered his whole body, black as ink the elephant trunk, with endless anger and killing intent, swept towards Luo Qiye viciously. This is the elephant trunk attack that kills Wble with 2 whips. However, in the face of such a terrifying elephant trunk attack, Luo Qiye remained calm and composed, and a crackling sound came from his mouth. Heaven did not give birth to me, Luo Qiye. Swordsmanship is like a long night. Swords come. 067. Stop bluffing, that will only show your weakness. Advertisement. With the sound of Luo Qiye's sword coming, the swords in the hands of all the pirates on the mammoth below screamed in unison, and then, swords and swords flew out in unison. There are nearly 1,000 swords, with ear-piercing whistling sounds, flying in the air at an extremely fast speed, and the mighty shuttle is heading towards where Luo Qiye is. Accompanied by Luo Qiye raising a finger. The mighty flying sword aimed straight at Drought Jack, and stabbed straight away. The momentum was so powerful that it immediately attracted everyone's attention. Whether it's the pirates watching the battle from a distance, or the Beast's pirates below, or Baron Egg, Stussy and others. Even the Drought Jack, who swept his hands with his proboscis, couldn't help being shocked. His terrifying proboscis didn't stop at all, it was still like a broken bamboo, sweeping towards Luo Qiye. This is the battle that Drought Jack pursues. Or don't shoot. Once he makes a move, one person is destined to fall. Either the enemy falls, or he will fall himself. But in the face of such a terrifying mammoth's proboscis whip, Luo Qiye did not retreat but advanced. He advanced to the middle-level armament hockey, covering his whole body in an instant, and the observation hockey, which had already been promoted to the advanced level, was in an instant state fully open. Luo Qiye is like a nuclear bomb, bringing the mighty swords flying around him, blasting towards the Drought Jack. Boom. Above the dark cloud-covered sky, a terrifying thunderclap sounded again. Suddenly, pieces of lightning chains broke through the clouds, broke through the sky, and fell down. The shocking silver electric light shines between the sea and the sky. It seems that when Luo Qiye makes a move, he is like Tianwei. Mortal, do not look directly. All of a sudden, all the pirates below and everyone in the distance involuntarily closed their eyes. It's the blink of an eye. When everyone opens their eyes again. In the middle of the sky, the rushing Drought Jack was stabbed with swords all over his body. Dense swords pierced all over Jack's body in the form of human and animal droughts. Shaped like a hedgehog, a half-man, half-mammoth hedgehog. And the boy who was supposed to be sent flying by Drought Jack with a long-nosed whip unexpectedly flew in midair with Eugeon intact. Between the sky and the earth where thunder and lightning flashed, he stepped on a flying sword and stood suspended in the air. His black windbreaker fluttered in the wind, like a god descending. Even the torrential rain pouring down from the sky did not dare to get close to it. Exclamation mark. Boom. Just for a moment, the hedgehog-shaped Drought Jack, with countless swords stuck upside down, fell straight down from midair, accompanied by torrential rain, like a kite with a broken string. Go. Advertisement. Wow. This moment, all the pirates who witnessed the battle from a distance were in an uproar. At this moment, they are as shocked as they want to be. In just the blink of an eye, the mammoth, which was originally invincible, became a hedgehog in the hands of Luo Qiye, falling down like a kite with a broken string. And in the minds of each of them, they couldn't help recalling the amazing scene of countless swords flying together just now. The young man slammed his sword, and the swords flew together, stabbing at Jack the Drow mightily. This picture became the only one in everyone's mind. Them. Totally shocked. What kind of sword technique is this? A sword came, and the swords flew together, just like the gods commanding the world's swords. What kind of monster is he? Even a big pirate like Drought Jack is not his opponent. It's horrible. Thousands of swords fly together. The sky is stained with blood. Even a Drought Jack is invincible. Is he really just a 10-year-old? Phew. This sea is about to change. As the new world about to usher in a truly new era. Is this grand line about to be turned upside down? Discussions continue, and the pirates from the Beast's pirates below were even more frightened and shocked. Because they are directly below the battle. Just stay within the range of combat fluctuations. And the swords that were stuck in Drought Jack's body came from their hands. They didn't even react from the beginning to the end. The swords in their hands were drawn out by majestic and endless force. They only heard a sword from the boy above, but they didn't see any movement. The swords in their hands were no longer under their control. Out, and finally stabbed their Captain Jack. The immersive shock made them unacceptable, unable to calm down for a moment, and they froze in place. Is this real? Captain Jack has lost. Just one move defeated Captain Jack. What kind of ability is this? I can't believe it's real. Can anyone tell me what happened? Why did our sword stab Captain Jack uncontrollably? Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host. The pretense is successful. The pretense point is +9999. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye could not help but smile when he received the system notification tone again. As expected of a sword coming, the pretentious effect is awesome. Advertisement. It's just that the power of this intermediate sword is displayed as unknown by the system. Although I nailed Drought Jack into a hedgehog, I don't know if I can seriously hurt Drought Jack. Boss Jack. The pirates of the Beast's pirates called each other in pieces, and at this moment, the Drought Jack from the sky crashed down and smashed hard on the deck of the mammoth. Boom. The entire gigantic mammoth, with the shocking fall, the hull vibrated violently. The deck was shattered into countless pieces, and the fragments kept rolling upside down, and blood was thrown down. The pungent smell of blood, even the violent wind and rain, could not be dispelled. It permeated, stimulating every member of the Beast's pirates. Captain Jack. Boss Jack. At this moment, all the pirates exclaimed, one by one ran towards the drop point nervously. But, just when many pirates wanted to look forward, the violent vibration sounded again. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise, a gigantic creature stood up from the cracked deck. Drought Jack completely transformed into an ancient species, a mammoth form. Roar. Drought Jack, which was originally as high as 8 meters high, turned into the strongest form of mammoth at this moment, and his body suddenly swelled, reaching a height of tens of meters. This behemoth roared, and the huge pirate ship shook violently, reaching a height of hundreds of meters. The waves of the sea were stirred up, and the sky was shaken by it. Little ghost, I'm going to tear you apart. Drought Jack roared up to the sky, the roar penetrated the sea level, and circles of sound waves vibrated out, the horror reached the extreme. Qian Zhao Kacha. Ping pong pong. The sword that was originally filled with Drought Jack's body was cut off at this moment. All the swords were broken, and some were even broken into pieces, falling from the mammoth's body. Drought Jack shattered the densely packed swords, just like shaking off dander. This vitality, this defense, how amazing. Everyone's scalp is numb. Baron Dandan and Stussy took several steps back subconsciously. Not only them, even the members of the Beast's pirates retreated one by one at this time. Captain Jack is about to go completely berserk. Hall. Boss Jack. The volcano erupted. Terrifying voices rang out from the mouths of the pirates of the Beast's pirates. However, Luo Qiye in the sky is fearless, like a god of war. He looks down at the rampant Drought Jack below, and speaks slowly. Drought Jack, stop bluffing. That will only show your weakness even more. 068. Since I was born Luo Qiye, I will open the gate of heaven for Kendo. One sword, open the gate of heaven. Advertisement. Hiss. The pirates who were watching from a distance gasped subconsciously when they heard Luo Qiye's words. After watching the battle, they could hear Luo Qiye's arrogant words every time. But every time the results are exactly as the boy said. When strength supports Kyogen, Kyogen is no longer Kyogen, but self-confidence. He's too strong. Do you still remember that he previously commented on the Drought Jack has a reward of 1 billion, ivory is worth 900 million, and combat power is only worth 100 million. He also called Drought Jack, the one with the fruit ability. Hiss, the fruit of the boat, he is mocking the Drought Jack's actions. You know, that's the big sign of the Beast's pirates, known for their strength. As expected of the mysterious strongman from the Redhair pirates, as expected of the boy who was about to challenge the world's strongest man, every line is so stylish and heroic. And the mighty sword seen just now, so amazing. But, that didn't hurt the Drought Jack. Look at the current Drought Jack. His terrifying pervert vitality seems to be completely intact. Many pirates in the distance once again set their sights on Drought Jack. The Drought 860 Jack, who was originally a hedgehog, turned into a gigantic monster, looking crazy, and his roar shook the sea and the sky. Captain Jack is about to explode. That brat dares to speak out loudly. No one can handle Captain Jack in a state of madness. I've only seen Captain Jack go berserk once. That time, that piece of archipelago was annihilated. I don't know how many people were trampled to death. The place Captain Jack stepped on was as dry and decayed as a drought appeared, and finally perished. I will never forget that scene. This brat is really hateful. Maybe it's not his brazenness. Have you forgotten what happened before? He caught Captain Jack's double slash with his bare hands. Perhaps Captain Jack was careless before. Now, Captain Jack is going berserk, so there is only one outcome, that kid is dead. The Beast's pirates on the Mammoth had already retreated a long distance amidst exclamations and discussions. They don't dare to get close to the Drought in a state of rampage Jack. Leave a lot of room. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 7,777 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye stood in the sky with a smile on his face, and it was pouring rain, but the rain did not touch his body. Baron Eggy and Stussy below felt Luo Qiye's gaze, and they were in a state of vigilance, and their hearts moved immediately. Master Qi Yi, do you want to use the Golden God of War calendar? Advertisement. They have seen Luo Qiye's Golden God of War power. I have witnessed the power of the Golden God of War with a height of hundreds of meters. I am sure that Luo Qiye will be able to defeat the Drought Jack with this ability. The two of them stopped worrying about this. Good chance. Take advantage of the opportunity. The two shot almost at the same time, and killed the enemy on the side. Most of these pirates use swords. And because of Luo Qiye's sword move, all the swords were broken by the Drought Jack, and they had already lost their weapons. If you don't make a move at this time, when will you wait? Do we have to wait for Luo Qiye to deal with the Drought Jack before taking action himself? The pirates of Beast's pirates also realized this in the next moment, they can't just watch Captain Jack fight. Take down the two surrounded on the deck before Captain Jack solves the kid. Kill them both. Kill. The sound of rushing and killing erupted. The battle is in full swing. Roar. The gigantic mammoth suddenly kicked its 4 feet on the deck, and the violent reaction caused the entire mammoth to vibrate like an earthquake, shaking violently, stirring up countless waves. And that incomparably terrifying behemoth jumped into the air. Like a huge rocket blasting off to Luo Qiye. Buzz. During this process, the astonishing armament Haki covered the entire body of this behemoth, and its defense and destructive power were all raised to the destruction level in a short while. Not only that, violent Drought Jack, the color of knowledge CEBH, Haki is fully open, lock the bag knight. Boom. His elephant trunk, which can easily destroy buildings and sweep away all opponents, slams towards Luo Qiye with devastating force. This is an unavoidable attack. The sonic boom sounded like a muffled thunder. Boom. At this moment, there was no more thunder and lightning in the sky, but the elephant trunk thrown by Drought Jack produced sparks when it broke through the air, boundless terror, extremely frightening, and destructive power swept towards Luo Qiye. Advertisement. This blow, carrying all the wrath of Drought Jack, represents the absolute lethality of Drought Jack. In this night-like stormy weather, Shang Luo Yi, all the people who witnessed this scene were shocked and terrified. However, the person who bears the brunt, that young man in black with black hair and black pupils, stands proudly, unmoved, he points to the sky with one hand, as if cutting the sky with a sword. The young man slammed and resounded between the sky and the sea. Since the sky gave birth to me, Luo Qiye, I will open the door of heaven for Kendo. One sword, open the gate of heaven. As the boy's voice resounded across the sea and sky, as the boy used his fingers as a sword, he slashed against the sky. The sky that was originally covered with dark clouds was cut open with a scar in the sky, and the dark clouds all over the sky suddenly rolled back, like waves turning over a book. The billowing dark clouds were cut through in an instant. The sky is clear. The dazzling light of the sun shines down from the severed scar of the sky, illuminating the world and the sea. And the torrential downpour, as if hearing the destiny, is just right. As if Luo Qiye is saying, one sword opens the gate of heaven, as destiny. The sky was cut open by it. Dark clouds dare not gather. The torrential rain stopped. A strong and dazzling light was projected down onto Luo Qiye's body, making him look like a god descending from the earth, stunning and dazzling. But when the strong light is projected on the behemoth that came to attack and kill, it is like a god judging him, and the power of judgment shrouds him. This moment, everyone, including Baron Eggy, Stussy, the beast's pirates who were still fighting, and many pirates watching the battle from a distance, all subconsciously froze in place. The strong light made them unable to fully open their eyes and dare not look directly at the cut sky. However, on the deck of the mammoth, the broken knives and broken swords that were originally shattered made quarreling noises one after another. Immediately, all the broken knives and broken swords flew into the sky with a whistling sound. All this is a long story, but it actually happened in a very short time. With one finger of Luo Qiye, the sword opened the gate of heaven, the sky cleared, the weather changed, and the broken sword was constantly recast in the sky, and finally recast into an extremely amazing sword. The tip of the sword pointed downwards, pointing directly at the violent Drought Jack. Drought Jack, remember my words. You have a bounty of 1 billion, and that pair of ivory is worth 900 million. You only have 100 million fighting power. Luo Qiye's voice sounded again, like a god judging sins. His majesty was irresistible. Ivory, leave it to me. 069. End the battle. 900 million loot. Pretend to break the record. Seek full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Buzz. Accompanied by Luo Qiye's voice, the huge sword hanging from the sky slashed down. Without any suspense, it fell directly on the head of that violent mammoth. Kacha, kacha. The sound of bone breaking sounded, and the mammoth covered with Zeon armament Haki was cut off like a swan with broken wings falling from midair. Bang bang. This time, due to the collision of forces between the two sides, the mammoth did not fall towards the pirate ship below, but fell directly into the sea. The sea stirs up huge waves. Countless huge bubbles roll up. The giant sword in the midair also broke and turned into shattered sword fragments again, falling downwards. This Drought Jack was cut into the sea and sank into the sea. You died. The sky cleared up. Hiss. In the distance, everyone was in an uproar, and the sound of gasping for air conditioning was endless. After a while, they looked up at the cut sky. The originally cloudy sky was completely cleared after a sword cut, and the weather was completely rewritten. From time to time, they looked at the sea ahead, where there were constantly large bubbles popping out. There, it's the sea where Drought Jack fell into. Captain Jack, Boss Jack. This moment, the pirates on the mammoth were terrified one by one. Chi-Chi was so frightened that his face turned blue. The ferocious and invincible Captain Jack in their eyes was cut into the sea again. The last time I was cut off into the sea was the last time. Captain Jack in the runaway state. I didn't even touch the devil in his clothes, he is simply a devil. What kind of method is that? Why is there even a trace of Tianmen in the sky? A man of great terror, a means of great terror. Changing the climate of heaven and earth. Isn't this what 4 emperors can do? Why can he, a mere teenage kid, be able to do it? From the Red Hair pirates. Chi Yi, who the hell is he? Captain Jack, will he die this time? Boss Jack is gone, what should we do? The pirates of the Beast's pirates were panicking one by one. Their boss was cut into the sea, and his life and death were uncertain. What they were about to face. It is the boy who flew down from the sky. At the same time that Drought Jack fell into the sea, in the midair, besides the sword fragments falling like a shower, there seemed to be 2 white objects falling. Advertisement. Phew. Luo Qiye stepped on the long sword, suddenly flew down, and grabbed the falling white object. 900 million worth of ivory, a pair. Luo Qiye grabbed the spoils in his hands, his eyes lit up. Fortunately, I reacted quickly, otherwise the ivory would have fallen into the sea. As for why there is no drought in ivory, Jack fell fast. Because of drought, Jack did not rely on the acceleration of gravity and free fall, but was cut off by Luo Qiye's sword. Step. Luo Qiye held a pair of huge white ivory and landed on the wet deck. He raised the ivory in his hand and smiled at all the pirates looking at him. Does it look good? It was snatched. It's worth 900 million Baileys. As expected of a person with the ability to rely on the fruit of the boat, he said the harshest words and received the most vicious beatings. At this time, the sky had cleared up, and the sun shone down from the sky and fell on the young man, but when the innocent smile fell into the eyes of many beasts pirates, it turned out to be the most dangerous smile, like a devil's smile. Signal of plop. Several pirates couldn't help but their legs went limp, and they knelt down on the deck with a plop. He's the devil. He's the devil. Damn it. Why are my legs shaking uncontrollably? Damn it. I really want to kill him and avenge Captain Jack. Why? My hands and feet don't work. Damn B asterisk 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 D. Ah. Pirates roared. They wanted to avenge Jack the Drow. Want to kill Luo Qiye. Can. Their bodies, however, did not obey orders at all, unable to move, trembling unstoppably. Couldn't make any effort at all. Because their minds are full, they only have the south faces left by the previous battles. Drought Jack rushed up, slashed out with 2 knives, but was caught by the boy with his bare hands. When the young man strikes with a sword, hundreds of thousands of swords fly up into the air, sweeping down in a mighty way, making Drought Jack a hedgehog full of swords. The last scene was even more terrifying. With a sound from the young man, the sky was cut open, the weather of the world was changed, the storm ceased to exist, the sky cleared up, and the giant sword fell, cutting the Drought Jack into the sea. The whole battle process, so short, yet so long. Such a horror, and such a shock to the world, even as members of the Beast's pirates. I was also completely shocked by this unheard of terrorist method. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 12000 pretending points. Close black lens bracket. Ask for flowers. Hearing the notification sound of the system, the corners of Luo Qiye's mouth involuntarily raised a slight arc. Advertisement. It's over 10,000. A single act of force, the income exceeded 10,000. This is Luo Qiye's record. The previous record was broken. And that's just one of 3 boards facing the beast's pirates. Thinking of the Whitebeard pirates, thinking of the other 4 emperors, Luo Qiye couldn't help but get excited. So many pretense points. What a wonderful thing. If the summit war breaks out as scheduled, can I crazily reap and act aggressively in front of the whole world? Really looking forward to it. Certainly. It is also related to the number of people today and the degree of shock that Luo Qiye's method brought them. Sword coming. One sword opening the gate of heaven. These 2 methods are indeed powerful weapons. Luo Qiye is in a great mood. Master Qiye, do you want to kill all of these? Stussy's voice sounded. For an enemy who had lost the will to fight, Luo Qiye didn't even have any interest in pretending to be aggressive. Harvesting so many pretentious points. I'm afraid the leeks have also been cut to the root. Throw it all in the sea and feed the fish. I, Luo Qiye, requisitioned this mammoth. Luo Qiye stood proudly with his hands behind his back, looking at the many pirates retreating again and again, go down and be buried with Drought Jack. Buzz. Conqueror's Haki unleashed from Luo Qiye. Shock like an invisible wave of mental attack. Almost in the blink of an eye, the pirates turned their eyes white, fainted, and all the shrimp fell down. Stussy and Baron Eggy were frightened secretly, they understood Luo Qiye's meaning, and just wanted to throw these pirates into the sea. He heard Luo Qiye speak. Stussy, prepare me a place to rest. Stussy followed Luo Qiye during this time, and knew that Luo Qiye had a certain cleanliness habit, and would throw away the things used by others. After she knew it, she hurried into the cabin and arranged the best room. Their original ship was destroyed, and it is estimated that they will have to find a port to repurchase things at the next stop, and decorate the room where Lord Qiye rests. And Baron Eggy naturally went to do the coolie, throwing the fainted pirates into the sea like pouring beans. At this time, Wble, who was knocked out by Drought Jack, woke up Yo-Yo, and just as he was about to get up from the 3rd place, he was knocked unconscious again by Baron Eggy. You should obediently faint. You haven't completed Master Qiye's task, it seems that you can only be given to Whitebeard as a gift. 070. Hado no 90 Black Coffin. Seek full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Stussy cleaned up the room and was sent away by Luo Qiye. She pouted outside the door. What about the girl who warmed the bed? Little guy, it's really just hilarious. How can there be any task of warming the bed? Even last time, she thought she was going to suffer from Luo Qiye's thunder. Result, she was called in to clean up. Thinking about it, Stussy lowered his head and glanced at his figure, which was uneven and slender, especially his straight beautiful legs, even he couldn't help but want to touch them. At least it's not my problem. But think about it, children, what bad thoughts can there be? At most, just imitate the tone of the grown-ups and say hello. In the room, Luo Qiye stretched his body. There was a crackling sound from the body. During the battle during this period, he felt that his combat power had been greatly improved by 8 to 70 degrees, which was an improvement outside the system. Especially in terms of fighting skills. It is much richer. Now even if he meets a real big pirate and can't beat the legendary one at all, he can effectively save the day. At least in this dangerous world of pirates, most characters can be fearless. For example, today's battle against Drought Jack. Actually, defeating the Drought Jack is not as easy as Luo Qiye said. From the beginning to the end, Luo Qiye used his sword-flying ability to fight the Drought Jack in midair without falling. Otherwise, with the defensive power and destructive power of Drought Jack, if Luo Qiye had a hard front, it would be impossible to beat him. Moreover, the means of attack are also using long-range attacks. Only once, he was almost swept by the elephant trunk. If Luo Qiye was swept away by that blow, there is a high probability that Wble will end up worse. Only after I have fought against Drought Jack, I know that he really has the strength to offer a reward of 1 billion. The ability to rely on boats and the value of ivory worth 900 million are actually just ridicule. Ridicule is ridicule, don't make fun of your life. If there is a hard steel drought on land, Jack, Luo Qiye will definitely choose to dodge the first time. Are you kidding me, comparing muscles with a zone ancient ability user? Isn't that using one's own weakness to touch the enemy's strength? Only a fool would do that. This is just like playing a game. To deal with a heavy tank, you have to use a long-range attack to kite him to death. In particular, Luo Qiye's heart-pounding words made a meat tank like Drought Jack dazzled by anger, and forced to jump into the air to fight. Intermediate-level swords failed to seriously injure Drought Jack, and it is estimated that elementary-level swords may not be able to seriously injure Jack. Advertisement. Luo Qiye thought, only, even if Jack doesn't die in this drought, his skin will definitely peel off. This is impossible to escape. His ability to fly with the sword is too cheap. However, if you encounter demon fruit power that also has the ability to fly, it will not be so easy to use. Especially with Golden Lion Shiki. Luo Qiye couldn't help sighing, I'm still too weak, it seems that I have to find a way to improve my combat power faster. If one day I can't pretend to be forceful, I will be slapped instead, it will not be fun. If Hongfa and others heard Luo Qiye's words, We'll definitely jump up and call him Versailles. 10 years old. You are only 10 years old. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host, you've got a pretense point +1, close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye. Did I install the system? System, do I have tens of thousands of pretense points now? Luo Qiye called out the system, and said with itchy hands, take a wave. Come on, take a wave. Answer host, currently has 60,961 pretense points. The system's voice sounded, excuse me, host, do you want to draw a lottery? Which level is the lottery drawn? Is this still a question? Luo Qiye said unhappily, I've been with me for so long, and you still don't understand my temper. Is it worthy of me now, whether it's a junior lottery or an intermediate level? Open black lens bracket ding, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host, you've got a pretense point +1, close black lens bracket. Conscience of heaven and earth, Luo Qiye was really not pretending just now. This comes from the pretentiousness of the system, and he doesn't like it. System. Does host conduct advanced lottery? Luo Qiye. Yes. Spend 10,000 pretense points to open the advanced lottery. Congratulations to host, you have obtained gambling technique, skill, full level. Note. In the gambling game, host passively triggers the power of metaphysics. Every bet must win. Every bet must win. It is not out of thousands, it is metaphysics. Question mark question mark question mark. Hearing the system prompt, people who wear a bath at night are stupid. Spend 10,000 labor and capital to act aggressively. The 10,000 pretentious points earned by labor and management have given labor and management such a thing. Luo Qiye cracked. Almost became 25-year-old him. Luo Qiye complained, system, are you kidding me? You agreed to draw ability. What the hell is gambling? System. Answer host, gambling is also a common ability in all heavens and myriad worlds, and it is very powerful, very suitable for pretending to be aggressive. Advertisement. Luo Qiye. I ran to the casino to play tricks. Hee. Tell me, the system, should I go to the casino in Alabasta to play tricks, or go to the casino in the Golden City to play tricks? Casinos are all about winning some money. If Luo Qiye wants berry, just find a bad luck pirate, snap it off, and exchange it for a bounty. Can't it be easy? Besides, there are a lot of treasures piled up on the mammoth that he just snatched, and this money is enough for him to spend for a long time. Going to the casino for a little pretense. No. I'm not going. Just treat this 10,000 points of pretense and feed it to the dog. Dog system. Luo Qiye didn't like to gamble when he was young, so if he went to the casino to pretend to be aggressive, he might as well sleep with the bed warmer girl in his arms. By the way, why haven't I found the bed warming girl I like? Well, in addition, the system clearly said before that treasures such as pills with growth effects can be drawn. The results of it. As a result, I have drawn so many high-level lottery draws, but I have never drawn a treasure in this area. Dog system, why don't you lie to me? Luo Qiye. System, is there any elixir that can make me grow up? System. Of course there are. Don't worry, host, as long as the host insists on drawing prizes, keeps on working hard, and is born in the sun, there will always be 4.3 days, until you get everything you want. Luo Qiye's forehead is full of black lines, this system is probably not from a micro-business background. No solution anymore. Continue to draw. System, I'll draw again. Host spends 10,000 pretense points to open the advanced lottery. Congratulations host, got, power +60. 4 consecutive draws. Host spends 40,000 pretense points to open 4 consecutive advanced lottery. Congratulations host, you got, strength +58. Congratulations to host, you got, strength +66. Congratulations host, you got, strength +61. Luo Qiye was numb when he heard the lottery result. No, you G dog system, are you afraid that you have some serious illness? Day by day, what did you get for me? Congratulations to host, you got, Hado's 90 black coffin, full level. 071. Everything is inferior, only pretending to be high. Seek full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Never thought of it. In the last round, I got Hado's 90 black coffin. Joy fell from the sky. It's comfortable. Luo Qiye finally felt refreshed. Hado's 90 black coffin, although not the highest level in Hado, but he is indeed very handsome. This is very in line with my Luo Yanzu's temperament. At the same time, Luo Qiye felt that there was a mysterious power in his body again. This power was born from the body, and then came to the mind. This kind of strength is somewhat similar to the last time I obtained 100% bare-handed catch-to-hand blade, but there is a difference. More like psychic, seems to be closely related to Observation Haki, but not quite the same. This is Reiatsu of the Shinigami world. Feeling the change in strength, Luo Qiye felt good, these 60,000 are worth a bit of pretense. Etc. It seems that I have never accumulated more than 100,000 pretense points. I wonder if there will be any difference after accumulating more than 100,000 pretense points. Just thinking about it, there was a knock on the door outside. Tuk 24. Master Qiye, everything is well arranged, do you want to set sail? Stussie's soft voice sounded. Her voice was delicate and sweet. According to the latest information, the Whitebeard pirates seem to stay here intentionally, probably because they know that Lord Qiye is looking for them, so they deliberately waited for us. The news that Luo Qiye was looking for the Whitebeard pirates had already spread throughout the Grand Line. As the Whitebeard pirates of the four emperors, how could they not know? As for waiting in place, Luo Qiye did not expect it. How far is it? Luo Qiye had a thought. The door was opened, Stussy stepped on sexy high heels, and walked in slowly with slender white legs. Master Qiye, we still have a long way to go before the Whitebeard pirates. If we don't encounter troubles along the way, at the current speed of the mammoth, it will take about 7 or 8 days for the voyage. It will take another 7 or 8 days. Luo Qiye held his forehead. Stussy added, and that's assuming there's no trouble or bad weather. I see. Luo Qiye waved his hand. Master Qiye, we just counted the treasures on the mammoth. Jewelry and gold, together with 2 large boxes. Berry, 3 people, 300,000. Advertisement. Stussy also reported, the most valuable thing on this ship is actually alcohol. All kinds of whiskey, wine, rum, beer and other fine wines are worth more than 600 million shells. Wine maniac. Luo Qiye shook his head. He thought of Kaido, the king of beasts. Isn't this guy a drunk lunatic? If you drink alcohol, you will die. When drunk, he commits suicide all over the world. The fine tradition of beasts pirates must be inherited from Captain Kaido. Also a possibility. Drought Jack's mission this time is to collect fine wine for Kaido. Who knows? Correct. Stussy continued to report, we found some apple-shaped devil fruits in the lowest deck of the cabin. Some. Apple shape. Luo Qiye looked at Stussy with a half smile, man-made zone devil fruit. Don't you know? Stussy's delicate body trembled slightly. As a CPO, she has naturally come into contact with man-made devil fruit. She just wanted to try Luo Qiye just now. Unexpectedly, Luo Qiye guessed it right just based on her few words. I'm sorry, Lord Qiye. Stussy quickly lowered his head, bowed down to apologize, and quickly explained, I didn't mean to hide it just now. There are 5 man-made devil fruits in total. The man-made devil fruits are worth less, but they are also worth over 100 million. Hee. Luo Qiye smiled, look up and look at me. Stussy looked up slowly, but before she could speak, I saw Luo Qiye punching her in the chest. Stussy raised his hands subconsciously, trying to block. When she raised her hands, she told herself desperately, don't resist, don't block, otherwise the consequences will only be more serious. During the struggle, Stussy gave up resisting. Phew. Luo Qiye's fist stopped half an inch in front of Stussy's chest. However, the astonishing force of the punch brought up an incomparably strong wind, blowing Stussy's shirt up and down. Advertisement. Slap. The sound of buttons popping. Although the power of this punch was stopped by Luo Qiye, the terrifying force of the punch broke Stussy's button. The skin as white and tender as jade was rumbled by the force of the fist. Stussy just felt a chill on his upper body. The top fell off. For a moment, her face became pale and feeble. If there is another time, this punch will land on your face. If you want to taste my strength, you can try it. Luo Qiye's faint voice sounded, and the person had disappeared into the room. In the empty room, Stussy was left alone. Her complexion was pale, her silver teeth clenched her lips tightly, and she looked at the back of Luo Qiye who disappeared from the door with complicated eyes. Her expression was extremely complicated. For a while, I didn't know what to do. The mammoth sails. Luo Qiye stood on the deck, looking at the wreckage on the sea surface, and soon, the wreckage was completely swallowed by the waves. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, who would have imagined that this sea had just experienced a 297 shocking battle? Who can imagine that hundreds of pirates from the Beast's pirates are buried under this sea? Who would have imagined that the Drought Jack, known as one of the 3 major disasters of the Beast's pirates, is also in this seabed? Luo Qiye looked at the sea with constant waves, and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. How many amazingly powerful pirates are buried on the Sea of New World? Grand Line. Brutal. It is the dream of countless pirates, and also the grave of countless pirates. Everything is inferior, only pretending to be superior. Luo Qiye couldn't help sighing. His current dream is to harvest pretentious points, especially the massive ones. Some of the onlookers in the distance were scared off, turned their course, and turned back home. And some are not willing to give up like this, they follow behind the mammoth unswervingly, going to witness Luo Qiye challenge Whitebeard with their own eyes. The Whitebeard pirates are getting closer. Even the atmosphere on the sea seems to be getting more and more tense. And those pirates who turned back spread the news of Luo Qiye's instant killing battle with Drought Jack. Once again causing a stir in the new world. 072. The Grand Line boils. Straw Hat Pirates. His name is Qiye. Advertisement. Big news. Big news. Redhair Pirates Mysterious Boy, strike again. Empty swords. The mysterious boy named Qiye, with his bare hands, received the double blade attack of Drought Jack, who is also the top fighter of the 4 Emperors pirate group. Not only that, the boy named Qiye only made 2 moves in the whole process, and he chopped the Drought Jack, who is also under the 4 Emperors, into the sea, and his life and death are unknown. According to the pirate's own description, the young man named Qiye raised his hand, commanded thousands of swords, and flew into the sky mightily. Thousands of swords pierced the Drought Jack, piercing him into a human-shaped hedgehog. The second move is even more earth-shattering. It is just a sword that opens the gate of heaven, dark clouds roll back, thunderstorms stagnate, the sky is cut in half, the weather of heaven and earth is changed by it, and then the sky forms a huge sword. Only this sword will wipe out the drought. Jack fell into the sea. His life and death are unknown. His whereabouts are unknown. No one is alive. No corpse is dead. The most shocking thing is that Drought Jack's 2 tusks were chopped off by him and taken away as trophies. According to what the pirates at the scene said, the boy named Qiye described the drought, one of the 3 major disasters under the Beast's pirates Jack. A reward of 1 billion is offered, ivory is worth 900 million, and combat power is only worth 100 million. The big news, Morgans, once again got first-hand information. He once again personally wrote the press release, and published this report as quickly as possible. Copies of the World Economic News started to be printed frantically in major bases all over the world, and then were delivered to the major islands, major forces, and various pirate groups by couriers one after another. Soon, a new round of discussion storm has appeared again. Luo Qiye's every move attracts more and more people's attention. Especially the pirates in New World. More and more interested in Luo Qiye's challenge to the Whitebeard event. Many pirates who knew the scope of the Whitebeard pirates decided to go to sea. They wanted to witness the battle that was destined to become the focus of New World. The key is, the more it spreads, the more mysterious it becomes. In the eyes of many new pirates, Luo Qiye has become a representative of the new era. Those fledgling rookie pirates are all looking forward to Luo Qiye's victory over Whitebeard. Become the strongest in the new era. Representing the new era overthrows the old era. Many people have started to worship Luo Qiye. Even some people who dream of becoming the One Piece start to take Luo Qiye as their goal and follow in Luo Qiye's footsteps for glory. East Blue. Because Nami was infected with an unknown disease, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates arrived at Drum Island in search of a doctor. Everyone has just arrived at Magnetic Drum Island. The purpose of entering is to be full of desolation. After inquiring about it, I found out that the formerly prosperous Drum Island Kingdom was attacked by a pirate group of only 5 people. Advertisement. They used very powerful power to annihilate this country in an instant. The chief captain, who calls himself Blackbeard. Residents were still terrified when they mentioned this matter. Even after what happened a few months ago, the fear left by Blackbeard still permeates this dead country. Just at this time, an albatross dropping a newspaper dropped a newspaper. It happened that Luffy caught the newspaper. Wow. Too big ivory. Sanji, can the ivory be eaten? Sanji's head got dizzy for a while. Why is he, an unreliable captain, always staring at the food? Hey, Luffy. Zoro, the green algae head holding the sword, called out to Luffy, do you know him? Sanji glared at Zoro. You idiot, how could the captain not be able to read? You think everyone is like you idiot. Fool. The two were about to rush together and fight immediately. The mysterious boy from the Redhair pirates caught the sword with his bare hands, and drove Jack, one of the 3 major disasters of the Beast's pirates, into the bottom of the sea, and his life and death are unknown. Princess Vivi took the newspaper, moved her lips slightly, and began to read, only Tien Sui. Wow, Princess Vivi is so cute when she reads the newspaper. Sanji immediately came up to meet him, with love in his eyes, followed by his sudden reaction, and said in surprise, only 10 years old. Empty hand to catch the sword. Hee hee. Zoro sneered, I'm really looking forward to the day when I can meet him, let's see if he can take my slash. Sanji. You idiot, what do you know? Only Luffy said to himself, Redhair pirates. Isn't that Uncle Shank's pirates? Wow, they have such amazing members. I'm so happy for them. What are Beast's pirates? In Luffy's opinion, it should be a relatively powerful pirate group. I don't know if there is a powerful dragon pirate group. I don't know either. Princess Vivi was holding the hand of the newspaper, trembling slightly. She said weakly, it says, the Drought Jack who was cut into the sea by the mysterious boy with a sword, the reward amount, 1 billion berry. A reward of 1 billion berry. Is there a mistake? Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy were stunned for a moment. They all stared and opened their mouths wide, thinking that they heard it wrong. The 3 snatched the newspaper and read it, and sure enough, it said that the reward amount was 1 billion berry. Advertisement. Hiss. Sanji took a deep breath. A reward of 1 billion berry, what's the concept? Zoro remained silent, and added, the captain's current bounty is 30 million berry. Luffy silently hooked his fingers and counted. The pirate he defeated was more than 30 times the bounty I offered. Sanji said with a little fear, is there really such an existence on this sea? If you're afraid, you don't have to continue sailing with us. Zoro laughed, but showed firm eyes, I will compete with him one day sooner or later. Weak Nami, still forgetting to make up the knife, just now Vivi seems to say that he is only 10 years old. Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro stared again. New World. A certain sea area. A fleet sails fast. Lord King. A pirate came rushing over with information in hand, the big thing is bad. Behind him was a mysterious figure with black wings and a flame burning from the back of his neck. He stood upright on the deck. He turned his head and stared at his subordinates. The pirate who wanted to report just now was so frightened that he took several steps back one after another, his legs were trembling unceasingly. He dared not look directly into the eyes of the man in front of him. This person is the other one of the 3 major signboards of the 100 Beast Sea, Li Qian's bandit group, Yan Calamity Ember. Code King. Master Jack. He was driven into the bottom of the sea again. The pirate said tremblingly, even the mammoth was taken away. What? Celery. Fire Calamity Jin's pupils were filled with flames, whose? The pirate who reported the information was so frightened that he fell limply on the deck, supported his body with his hands and backed away, and replied, from Redhair pirates, named Qiye, little kid. Redhair pirates again. Roar. Flame spurted out from the eyes of Flame Calamity Jin, and the pirate who reported the information just now was instantly reduced to ashes. Find me the little ghost named Qiye. I will tear him apart with my own hands. 073. Uchiha Sasuke. Don't use the word genius to kill my efforts. Please subscribe. Ask for full order. Novel image. Advertisement. New world. On Red Force. Qiye, is this really to deliver a letter? Laji Lu held a newspaper in his hand, his small eyes were swollen, and the barbecue in his hand didn't smell good. I read the news, why do I feel like we are really going to declare war with the Whitebeard pirates? Stop talking about you. Usopp shrugged, he rubbed his sniper rifle, I think so too, where is Qiye sending a letter to the Beard pirates? This is clearly representing our red hair pirates to initiate a war between the four emperors. Co-captain Ben Beckman was silent, and he turned to look at the redhead, who was also looking at him. Two people. I said I really just asked him to deliver a letter. As a result, he not only hammered the more than 400 million combatants offered by the Big Dodmom pirates, but also easily hammered Jack, one of the three major Kanban boards of Beast's pirates, and was mistaken for challenging Whitebeard. These are all accidents. Do you believe it? Will others believe it? Of course no one believed it. Then, the redhead couldn't help laughing first, ha ha ha. The hearty laughter infected the entire red hair pirates, and all the cadres laughed heartily. As expected of Qiye, he actually defeated Drought Jack. Genius is a different path from us after all. Vice Captain, I remember the last drought. Jack was shot into the bottom of the sea by you. Based on this calculation, is Qiye comparable to your strength? Stupid 773, how is this possible? Ha ha ha. Speaking of drought, why didn't Jack drown in the sea? I heard that he belongs to the Murloc race. But, this guy is too unlucky to be thrown into the bottom of the sea by us twice in a row. He is strength. The improvement is amazing, right? It's only been a long time since we've been separated, and is he already strong enough to single out Drought Jack? I'd love to see him aboard the Moby DK very much, it's going to be amazing. I look forward to seeing what Qiye will look like when he grows up, and he will definitely stand proudly above this sea. Listening to the hearty and heroic laughter of the cadres, the Rockstar interns were even more shocked. In their hearts, they always felt that their strength and status were higher than Luo Qiye's. Luo Qiye is just a teenager after all. However, it turned out to be the other way around. Especially now, Luo Qiye has only been away from Red Hair pirates for more than 10 days, and he has already become famous in the New World Sea. Advertisement. And the gap between them and Luo Qiye has widened further and further. Maybe it's the gap between talents. When will we catch up with Qiye? Maybe. I won't be able to catch up in this life, right? After all, Qiye is a genius, CECB, among geniuses. Even if we can't keep up with Qiye's footsteps, we can still devote our lives to cultivating. Sooner or later, we will be able to make a name for ourselves in the Sea of New World. Yes, we can't embarrass the captain. Some people are confused, some people are depressed. Of course, there are others who catch up. Everyone's ending, maybe just inadvertently, there is a difference, there is a gap. This is to treat life with different attitudes, and finally produce a different life. Of course, if Luo Qiye heard their words, there will definitely be a famous Uchiha Sasuke quote. I did it with all my might, don't use the word genius to kill my hard work. Entrance to the New World in the first half of the Grand Line. A huge marine warship is sailing on the sea. A heroic female swordsman with an orchid-like temperament stood at the front of the deck, with a long sword hanging from her waist, and a newspaper in her white and tender hand. She has black and beautiful hair, coiled behind her head, on her beautiful face, two embroidered eyebrows are like a crescent moon, her beautiful eyes are silky, her eyelashes are picturesque, her nose bridge is slender, and her delicate mouth is charming. This female swordsman is the Marine Admiral candidate, Momosuge, who was ordered to find Luo Qiye. Formerly known as Gion, as expected of the boy Marshal Sengoku Fancy. They even got rid of all the pirates on the mammoth owned by the Beast's pirates, and even the heinous Drought Jack was also thrown into the sea, but it's a pity that they couldn't be captured and imprisoned in a large prison near the deep sea. Momosuge opened and closed her small mouth slightly, her voice was soft and melodious. Those who don't know her identity must acquiesce in the daughter of her family, just like the beautiful sister next door, they can't help but flirt forward. But knowing her status as a Marine Admiral candidate, seeing her, I would definitely not dare to feel half blasphemy. Because of the supreme sword in her hand, Kim Pira beheaded countless evil pirates. This is a seemingly gentle elder sister next door, but in fact her strength is terrifying. There are countless pirates who fell under her hands. This is a beautiful woman with what it takes to be a Marine Admiral. Lord Momosuge, I never expected that Luo Qiye's three views are so upright, and his methods are upright, and he has not been led astray by pirates. Yes, such a talented boy will definitely become the top combat force of our naval headquarters in the future. Get rid of more pirates. Look at the picture, it really is. No way, does this make your heart beat? Aren't you tempted? If you see him in real life, I think all the sisters on the warship will be moved by him. It's a pity, he's still a child. It would be nice if I grew up a little more. Advertisement. The younger the boy, the better. It's the best to cultivate something from an early age. He won't be contaminated with bad thoughts from outside. Yes, female soldiers, you talk to each other, and you go off topic while talking. Momosuke blushed while listening. Thought to myself. Is it because I am too gentle with my subordinates on weekdays? They actually discussed such flamboyant words while carrying out the mission. A few days have passed. Aboard the Mammoth. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, passively pretending to be aggressive, gaining plus 60500 acting points. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye suddenly received a lot of acting points. He froze for a moment. What's the situation? I'm right here, I didn't do anything, and more than 60,000 pretentious hulls fell from the sky inexplicably. Isn't this more amazing than hammering the Drought Jack into the bottom of the sea? Luo Qiye looked down at the newspaper in his hand again, and suddenly realized, he understood. It must be the harvest caused by your own news. Based on that, shouldn't I also thank Morgans? If it wasn't for his report, I definitely wouldn't have gotten the 60,000 pretense points. Luo Qiye thought, it was this guy who rescued Baron Eggy in the first place. Since he allowed himself to gain 60,000 acting points, the little grievances in the past, don't bother with him. If you have the opportunity to meet him, you must thank him very much. I don't know if Morgans knows Luo Qiye's thoughts, will he dare to continue to report news about Luo Qiye in the future? Don't rush to draw the lottery this time. Luo Qiye thought, I haven't accumulated 100,000 pretense points so far, so I have to try this time. Although Luo Qiye has a quick temper, I am eager to get a treasure that can make me grow up. But he also wanted to try whether accumulating 100,000 pretense points would cause system changes. In addition to the treasures that can grow, I also urgently need a sword with an excellent grade. It is best to have a weapon that is both powerful and cool. Such a weapon is easy to pretend. Luo Qiye was thinking, when Stussy's voice sounded from the other side, Lord Qiye. Holy shit, suddenly there are a lot of flowers, my little brother is so grateful. I got up late, and the update is a little late, my little brother continues to code, ask for an automatic subscription, please ask for a full subscription. Illustration C medicine. Close black lens bracket. 074. What is card face? Blind gambler. Fujitora smile. 2 chapters in 1. Must read. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. The former is the last island on the way to the Whitebeard pirates, shall we go up and buy some supplies? Asked Stussy. Luo Qiye nodded. Soon. The mammoth enters the island port. This gigantic mammoth has already caused quite a commotion before it even got close. In this sea area, most of the pirates know that Luo Qiye knocked away Drought Jack and robbed his mammoth. So as soon as the mammoth docked, the news spread like the wind. The name of a person, the shadow of a tree. Luo Qiye can be considered a little famous now. As soon as he arrived at the port, he attracted many people's comments. Is this a boy named Qiye? A little handsome, but he must be very handsome when he grows up. Extraordinary bearing, I can even feel a majestic aura from him. After all, he is a genius boy who can defeat the 2-stroke Drought Jack. He has the air of a king, so it's not worth making a fuss about. Looking at the handsome appearance, I don't know what kind of daughter-in-law I thought it was. Someone made a silence gesture and reminded, don't judge a person's strength by his appearance, don't look at his thin arms and legs, he is the existence that defeated the Drought Jack in 2 moves, and can change his strength. Heaven and earth weather, such a person. I am afraid that only Whitebeard can fight against him. At such a young age, he wants to challenge the strongest man in the world, Whitebeard. I still think it's a dream, impossible. Who wins and who loses is not important, the important thing is the process of the battle, it is destined to be extremely exciting, not to be missed. It's like going to witness this battle with my own eyes. But, the battle must be earth-shattering. If it is affected by the battle, there is a high probability that you will die in the sea because of watching the battle. I hope the World Economic News can report on this battle. There was constant discussion. Most people believe that this battle must be extremely exciting. A large number of people admire Luo Qiye very much, marveling at his fighting talent. Certainly, there are also some people who are not convinced by this. After all, this is the era of great voyages. There are too many legends on the Grand Line. There are as many powerful big pirates as Crucian Carp crossing the river. Very good, no one is convinced. Luo Qiye didn't care. In his hand he twisted 2 tusks. Land on the island with Stussy and barren eggs. The mammoth has a lot of these materials. Landing on the island at night, if you want to buy a comfortable soft elastic bed. The bed boards I sleep on these days are all hard, and I can be as uncomfortable as I am. Luo Qiye has endured him for a long time. This is a city full of greenery. There are evergreen trees planted on both sides of the city streets. Most of the trees have parasitic plants and blooming lavender flowers. The 3 of Luo Qiye had just stepped into the city. A group of people ran over head-on. Master Qiye, hello, I am the mayor of this city. They are the deputy mayor, the secretary, and the finance commissioner. The middle-aged man with eyes said respectfully and cautiously, excuse me, is there anything I can do for you? It turned out to be the chief. Luo Qiye was slightly surprised. Unexpectedly, as soon as I landed on the island, the biggest officials in the city all ran out to greet me. Is this the card? The chief and several people watched Luo Qiye's expression nervously, and they were worried. They were afraid that Luo Qiye would be unhappy and destroy the city in one blow. Many people were watching from a distance, but they did not dare to approach. In your city, which one makes the best bed? When Luo Qiye asked this question, Shi Chong and the others were obviously taken aback. Bed. Chief Shi was stunned. He doesn't know. Fortunately, the deputy chief nearby rushed to the rescue. Master Qiye, do you want the best and most expensive bed? I know, it is just south of the city, there is a street of furniture, and the bed made by the owner of bed house is the best. Luo Qiye nodded. The chief and several people hurriedly lead the way. Along the way, I also introduced the owner of the bed house, and it was rumored that he had customized a bed for a legendary pirate before. Soon, under the leadership of Shi Chong and his group, Luo Qiye arrived at the bed house. The boss is an uncle carpenter with a great personality. His beard is white, but his momentum is not lost at all. He is tall and burly, and he does not look old at all. The chief immediately explained the stakes to the boss. The boss had heard about Luo Qiye's name, and he couldn't help being surprised when he got the exact news. Boss, is this the biggest bed you have here? Luo Qiye pointed to a bed that was only 3 meters wide, isn't it too small? This is the pirate world. The average height is terribly high. A group of people were taken aback. Obviously Luo Qiye is just a child, his height is only about 1.5 meters, and a bed with a width of 3 meters, how small is it? Only Stussy trembled. A woman's sixth sense is keenly aware of the meaning. If you want a wider bed, you have to order it. The boss didn't ask too much, it's a good thing if the customer has needs, it usually takes 2 days, but if Master Qiye needs it urgently, I can finish it as soon as possible. I want a bed 6 meters wide and 8 meters long. The softest mattress. Luo Qiye asked, how long does it take to customize? 6 and 8 are Luo Qiye's favorite numbers. The main reason is that such a big ship is convenient for a few more bed warmers. It's still morning, probably. The boss gritted his teeth, it will be finished in 5 hours. Advertisement. Luo Qiye ordered, Baron Eggy, give me the money. How dare you ask for your money? Chief Shi and his party were taken aback, how dare they charge money? I'm a pirate, not a robber. Luo Qiye played with the 2 ivory in his hand, do you think I look like a poor man? Egg Baron hurriedly paid the money. Luo Qiye wandered around the city with Stussy, waiting for the bed to be customized before picking it up. Egg Baron was naturally arranged to purchase some necessities. The Chief Shi and the others were still following behind Luo Qiye. Luo Qiye suddenly turned around, by the way, do you have a casino here? He remembered that he had drawn a full-level gambling skill before, the passive ability of winning every bet. Idle now is also idle. It's better to find a place to play. There is, some. Tell me where, and then you can go. Yes, the casino is just ahead. After sending away the chief and his group, Luo Qiye led Stussy towards the casino. Stussy asked curiously, Lord Qiye, do you like gambling? Luo Qiye laughed, it's not that I like it, but I'm good at it. Every bet will win. Stussy couldn't believe it, what are you kidding? Win every bet, all the gamblers in the world think so. But which one is not guaranteed to lose every bet? But Stussy wouldn't dare to say it. You do not believe. Luo Qiye saw that Stussy didn't believe it, and he laughed, how about we gamble once? I will win every bet today, and I will never lose. Stussy stopped in his tracks, where's the stake? Luo Qiye looked Stussy up down, the bet. It's simple, if I don't lose, you will be mine. From now on, you have to fulfill any of my requirements. Whatever I ask you to do, you will do. Stussy's delicate body trembled lightly, a hint of hesitation appeared on her beautiful and delicate face, she immediately gritted her teeth and looked at Luo Qiye, what if I win? Luo Qiye smiled, do you think I will lose? While the two were talking, they arrived at the lively casino. The signboard reads, Feast, in 2 flamboyant characters. A young man walked into the casino with a beautiful woman. This is probably a young man from some family. But when the casino pirates saw Luo Qiye holding a pair of huge ivory, they recognized Luo Qiye. One by one, they all left their seats in fright. Even the bold ones stopped what they were doing and became quiet. Luo Qiye looked at the vacant gambling table in front of him, and shrugged his shoulders involuntarily. Oh, sure enough, people are afraid of being famous and pigs are afraid of being strong, how can this be played? Master Qiye, there is a person who hasn't moved. Stussy said, pointing to the side. Luo Qiye looked up. The subconscious mind shines. The person sitting there without moving, with a small cylindrical cane beside him, wearing a pair of wooden clogs, wearing a purple robe coat, purple scarf, short black hair, thick eyebrows, beard, the most eye-catching face, it's not the beard, but the 2 scars that intersect between the eyebrows, extend to both sides, pass through the eyes and reach the 2 faces. Why, are you unwilling to gamble with the old man? The blind man spoke with a gentle voice, giving people a kind of straightforwardness. This blind man has lost a lot. He doesn't know what other people are doing, because blind people can't see anything anyway. Hush, don't let him hear it. Some pirates who hadn't left were discussing in low voices. It's a blind man. Stussy obviously felt the danger. She reminded softly, Lord Qiye, this person is extremely dangerous. It's a blessing not to see things. There are too many dirty people in the world. The blind man opened his mouth and said the truth in a polite manner, little friend, would you like to bet with me? Certainly. Luo Qiye walked forward. Stussy could only bite the bullet and keep up. Fujitora smiles. The blind man stood up, introduced himself, and gestured to Luo Qiye for a seat. That's right. This person is Guan Huishao, who was promoted to Admiral of Headquarters in the original book after 2 years of enlisting in the world government through the world conscription. Even Luo Qiye never imagined that he would meet Fujitora by such a coincidence. Still at the casino. Could it be that the passive ability to win every bet is God's will? My next Luo Qiye. Luo Qiye smiled and said, Uncle, please enlighten me. That's all I have now. Fujitora put all his money in a row on the table with a smile. Is it enough for a gamble? Stussy saw the 600 berry on the table, and for a moment didn't know how to describe it. In the world of One Piece, this is probably just enough to buy 6 newspapers. Ask for flowers. 600 berry. Lord Qiye, stop betting with him. He was scammed out of all his money. Yes, Lord Qiye, if you want to gamble, you can go to the big roulette, that's also fun. The pirates not far away boldly reminded Luo Qiye. Unexpectedly, Luo Qiye ignored it, but smiled and put the 2 ivory on the gaming table. 600 berry, worth 6 choppers. Advertisement. No, it should be worth $2. It's not that you can't gamble. He continued to laugh. Uncle, you bet 600 berry, I bet these 2 ivory. Ivory, Fujitora reminded with a smile, wouldn't that make the old man take advantage? Luo Qiye said with a smile, hey, uncle, I'm very good. I can't lose, so feel free to gamble. All right. Fujitora smiled and nodded, it's up to you to decide what to bet on, so it's a little fairer. Luo Qiye didn't refuse, and directly grabbed the dice cup, and held the dice casually, roll the dice, guess the size, and win or lose, how about it? Sure. Fujitora smiled kindly and said, shake, guess. She shakes. Luo Qiye motioned to the casino croupier to shake it, it's fairer. The croupier became nervous, but he didn't dare to refuse, so he could only go forward and began to shake the dice cup. After some shaking, he threw it upside down on the gaming table. Luo Qiye said politely, Uncle, you are blind, you come first. All right. Fujitora said casually with a smile, I bet small. Then I'll bet big, let's drive. The croupier opens the dice cup. The dice show, come. Wow, 6 o'clock, isn't it? This is too lucky. The people on the side couldn't help but exclaimed a few times. 0. Uncle, you lost. Luo Qiye smiled, he didn't use Observation Haki just now, he used Observation Haki in front of Fujitora's smiling face, isn't it funny? This is a purely passive ability. The passive ability drawn from 10,000 pretense points is indeed very metaphysical and very powerful, are you still coming? Little brother, you are very appetizing to this old man. Fujitora smiled and was slightly surprised by the result, but quickly shook his head and said, unfortunately, the old man has no money. It's okay, because if you want to bet, I can bet with you again. Luo Qiye continued, if you win this game, not only will you return the 600 berry just now, but this pair of ivory will also belong to you. Oh, the gambler Fujitora stopped with a smile, and said seriously, little brother, if I lose, what do you want? Simple. Luo Qiye laughed, if you lose, how about being my bodyguard for 3 months? Bodyguard. Fujitora smiled and shook his head, I'm blind, so I can't be a bodyguard for my little brother. It doesn't matter if you're blind or not. Luo Qiye said with a smile, the main reason is that I think the uncle's outfit is very cool. If he stands behind me, it must be very cool. Don't you want to make a comeback? No way. Don't you think you've lost? For gamblers, if you win, you want to continue, in order to win more. I want to continue even if I lose, in order to come back. Unfortunately, Fujitora's gambling addiction is very big. But Fujitora still didn't agree with a smile. Luo Qiye continued to flicker. How about it, uncle? I am very confident in my gambling skills, as long as you can win my bet between us during any time you are serving as my bodyguard. The bet is void. Uncle can leave at any time. Okay, come on. It's hard to disagree. Fujitora smiled and nodded, the little brother has said so this round, the old man will definitely win. Continue to roll the dice. No problem. Luo Qiye nodded. The croupier quickly used the dice cup to hold the dice again and shake it again. Fujitora smiled and made a gesture of invitation, little brother, will you go first this time? Why don't we guess the number? Luo Qiye said with great interest, you win if you guess right. Old man, guess 5 o'clock. Then let me guess a bit. Open it. The 2 people bought and left, and the croupier didn't dare to delay, so he quickly opened the dice cup. Sure enough, a big red-colored dice face. A little. The people on the side all stared wide-eyed, looking at the 2 in disbelief. Uncle, I accept it. I would like to bet and admit defeat. Little brother, you have won. Let's go. Luo Qiye got up and didn't continue to gamble. He originally participated out of boredom. Now that he has met Fujitora Yishao, there is no need to continue. Uncle Yishao, the next 3. For months, you are my bodyguard. Quote. Well, the old man will keep his promise. Fujitora got up with a smile, followed behind Luo Qiye, and walked outside. The purple robe looked a little funny and also a little bloated. Except Luo Qiye, the traverser. Who would have thought? 2 years later, Fujitora smiled, will become the top combat force of naval headquarters. Marine Admiral. Many pirates in the casino stood still, not daring to act rashly. Stussy, who was following Luo Qiye, blushed, she hadn't forgotten the bet she made with Luo Qiye before. 075. Step over the ants without killing him, this power is more difficult to control. Advertisement. Uncle smile, if I say I'm a pirate. Luo Qiye walked in the front, and said to the showdown, will you still keep the promise you just made and fulfill the bet? Pirates. Fujitora smiled and leaned on a cane, following behind, he didn't seem surprised at all. His voice is still as gentle as before. People who don't know, think he is really just an ordinary middle-aged uncle. I just believe in getting justice in my heart, and I don't care about identity. Identity is just a label, or a symbol. A person's character is the most important thing. As long as I am not asked to kill civilians, even if you were a pirate, I will fulfill my bet and complete the 3-month bodyguard mission. Sure enough, it still has the same character as in the original book. Believe in the justice in your heart. Luo Qiye simply had a showdown. I'm actually a member of the Redhair pirates. Luo Qiye continued, however, we like nuclear peace. If Uncle Yishao is willing to join me, we can form the Redhair Pirates Hepping fan team in the future. Redhair Pirates Peace fan team. Fujitora was taken aback for a moment with a smile. Such a strange team name does not fit the style of pirates, but he's also heard about the Redhair pirates, although he is not ashamed to associate with pirates. However, it must not be admitted that the Redhair pirates, who are also members of the Four Emperors pirate group, have never committed any evil deeds such as killing, burning, and looting. He even heard that the Redhair pirates had rescued many village people and lived in peace and harmony with the people there. Luo Qiye looked at the most powerful player in front of him, if he could really make him join his banner sincerely. So, in the future, you don't have to worry about being beaten if you pretend to be aggressive. At least, with the strength of Fujitora's smile, even the 4 emperors can beat a dozen. If there is another drought, a pure meat tank like Jack, Luo Qiye doesn't have to fight it himself, let alone fly into the air. Directly let Fujitora play with a smile, and he is responsible for pretending to earn acting points. Only, Fujitora accepted Luo Qiye as a pirate with a smile, but he might not be able to accept becoming a pirate. Uncle Yishao, let me explain this to you. Luo Qiye is persuasive. The biggest task of our nuclear peace team is to maintain world nuclear peace, and our enemies are those who prevent us from maintaining world nuclear peace, including pirates and those who have been corrupted by evil people. Guarding world peace. It's maintenance, not protection. Is there any difference? Naturally. Maintenance means we're going all over the world. Advertisement. Maintain world peace. Fujitora's face became serious with a smile. Are you the 7-night boy who has been rumored to challenge the Whitebeard pirates? Right. Luo Qiye nodded. From the very beginning, Luo Qiye had told him his name. It is estimated that Fujitora already knew his identity when he smiled. It's just not broken. Now that the skylight has been opened to speak frankly, there is no need to hide it anymore. I've heard your story. Fujitora said with a low smile. You defeated the Drought of the Beasts pirates Jack, why didn't you kill him? Luo Qiye turned around. Uncle Yishao, don't you think it's more difficult to control the power of stepping over ants without killing them? Ants. Fujitora suddenly paused with a smile. Since you are so powerful, why do you want me to be your bodyguard? The bodyguard is fake. Luo Qiye said with a smile. It is true to invite Uncle Yishao to join me in maintaining world nuclear peace. You are honest. Fujitora smiled. Since it is to maintain world peace, why didn't you join the Marine and become a glorious Marine instead of joining a pirate group? Luo Qiye. Marine is a faction under the world government, right? Fujitora smiled. That's natural. Luo Qiye laughed. Then let me ask you, does world government represent peace? Does it represent justice? The aloof celestial dragons is the best example. Why are human beings divided into 3, 6, and 9 classes by the world government? Why would there be slaves in a peaceful world? Why does the world government want to destroy the Tree of Omniscience? What fact does the world government want to hide? Why did the world government destroy the historical text? What happened 500 years ago? Why did the world government want to cover up the truth? In fact, Luo Qiye didn't care about these things. He said this. I just want to fool Fujitora into a member of the nuclear flat team with a smile. This. Fujitora was stopped by Luo Qiye's question with a smile. He couldn't answer. He believes in his own justice in his heart, and he is not allowed to justify the dirty world government. World government. Celestial dragons. Tree of Omniscience. History text. The history of 500 years ago that disappeared. Advertisement. Every word makes Fujitora smile and move. He didn't expect that Luo Qiye, who was rumored to be only 10 years old, would know so many things. If he is not blind, he really wants to see what Luo Qiye looks like. Forget it. Fujitora smiled and finally agreed with Luo Qiye's words. Since you know so much, then I have nothing to be suspicious of. If I am suspicious of you again, wouldn't it appear that I am weak and powerless? Welcome to the nuclear ping fan team. Luo Qiye stretches out his hand, but we together maintain world nuclear peace. Fujitora smiled and held Luo Qiye's hand. The two looked at each other and smiled. Fujitora smiled knowingly, from the heart, even though he couldn't see it. And Luo Qiye's smile, meaningful. How can Fujitora know with a smile? Luo Qiye is a traveler who is familiar with the plot and setting of this world. Stussy on the side was even more surprised. She just intuitively felt that the blind middle-aged man in front of her was extremely dangerous. But I don't know, what kind of strength does he have that can make the arrogant Luo Qiye value him so much? Be so hospitable. I can't figure it out, and I can't figure out what Luo Qiye is thinking. Stussy can only follow back to the port. Back on board the Mammoth. Baron Dandan saw the smile of Fujitora who was following behind Luo Qiye, and couldn't help but be surprised. He also felt an unprecedented sense of crisis. 5.6 He even wanted to remind Luo Qiye. But when he thought of his identity, he didn't dare to say more. Not long. The custom-made luxurious big bed was also sent over. The mammoth is back. Go to the sea area where the Whitebeard pirates are. And as Luo Qiye set sail, countless eyes followed. The boy named Qiye set sail. The battle with Whitebeard is imminent. A piece of news about Luo Qiye, a piece of information about challenging the strongest man in the world, was quickly passed on to the Sea of New World. For a while, stormy. I don't know how many pirate groups have heard the news and set off towards the sea area where the Whitebeard pirate group is located. They want to witness this battle with their own eyes. There are also many pirates from South Blue, West Blue, and North Blue who came to the New World Grand Line to roam and take risks, and their vicious reputation spread far and wide. 076. Witness the collision of the new era and the old era. Qiye is here, kneeling for full order. Advertisement. Many eyes, looking at us in the dark. On the mammoth, Fujitora smiled and frowned. He was blind and could not see, but the powerful observation haki was enough for him to see anything in the dark. He said in a deep voice, some eyes are not good, and some eyes fierce, and some eyes are fearful, and more seem to want to watch the excitement. Don't bother with them. Luo Qiye didn't even bother to look at it. If someone has courage, he will naturally challenge me. If he doesn't even have the courage to challenge me, what qualifications do we have to pay attention to? Master Qiye is absolutely right. Baron Eggy hurriedly flattered him. Who is he? Fujitora asked with a smile. The fighters of the four emperors Big Mom pirates must stick here to death. Luo Qiye said lightly, Uncle Yishao, why don't you help me beat him away? Big Mom pirates. Fujitora froze slightly with a smile. He turned his head and leaned forward with the cane in his hand. It seemed as long as Luo Qiye gave an order, he will act immediately. Kill the 24 egg barons. Take the first step to maintain world nuclear peace. Don't. Baron Dandan hurriedly waved his hands. He bought a new crutch, and bought a new pink suit, and at this moment he said in a funny way, Master Qiye, please let me stay here, otherwise. Mom will definitely kill me. If I stay, I can still bring you tea and water, can't I? Then stay. Luo Qiye nodded slightly. Who is he? Fujitora smiled slightly towards the mast. Edward Wble, who had already come to his senses, was tied there. A fellow with big limbs and a simple mind. Luo Qiye smiled lightly. According to his mother, he is Whitebeard's illegitimate son, and there is no way to verify the details. However, I plan to give him to Whitebeard to reunite their father and son. Fujitora nodded with a smile, and praised solemnly, Qiye, you are such a kind person. Baron Eggy and Stussy couldn't help but twitch their mouths when they heard these words. They have personally experienced Luo Qiye's methods. Good. Advertisement. It cannot be said that this word has nothing to do with Luo Qiye, it can only be said that it has nothing to do with it. But Luo Qiye didn't feel ashamed at all, but nodded very indifferently, with a face full of shame. Uncle Yishao is right, I long for world peace and integrity. I just don't know, will Raihuzi accept this gift from me? He should like it. Fujitora smiled seriously. In this world, is there any father who doesn't love his son? Even an illegitimate child has the right to enjoy the father's love. What's more, I have occasionally heard other pirates mention that Whitebeard loves family discussion. I'm afraid they can't understand my good intentions. Luo Qiye laughed, but it doesn't matter, if they don't understand, it's a fight. Fujitora nodded with a smile. He has already begun to integrate into the nuclear flat team. Acknowledged Luo Qiye's leadership, but failed to fully accept the title of captain. Luo Qiye didn't mind either. Under the attention of many pirate groups. The mammoth sails fast. The rolled-up waves dragged out long white trails on the blue sea. Nickname. The strong young man named Qiye is about to arrive at the location of the Whitebeard pirates. The big event that has attracted the attention of countless pirates in the New World, a great war is about to break out. A rising supernova represents the advent of a new era in this sea. He is about to challenge the famous Grand Line, known as the strongest man in the world, and represents the old era Whitebeard Edward Newgate. Who is stronger and weaker? Who will win in the end? Come on, let us witness the collision of the new era and the old era together. Witness together, the epic battle between the two four emperors pirate groups. The world economic news is completely popular, both in terms of circulation and attention, it beats the world news controlled by the world government. And as the president, as the key person who caused the whole thing to become the focus of the new world, Morgans, he has arrived not far from the Whitebeard pirates at this time. He is constantly sending and receiving the latest information about Luo Qiye through the phone bug. Finally, my journalistic career of Morgans finally ushered in the most glorious moment. Morgans hung up the phone. The whole bird was so excited, he kept jumping on the boat, cheering, Qiye, you must not be killed by Whitebeard, even if you lose this challenge, I will also shape you into a real monster rookie image. Shape into a hero of the new era who dares to challenge the hegemony of the old era. Shape into a new era leader. You are still young. When you come back and challenge Whitebeard again, it will definitely be another event, even more unprecedented and unprecedented. Morgans excitedly plans the big event ahead. In his cognition, Luo Qiye will definitely lose this time. Advertisement. After all, Whitebeard is truly the strongest man in the entire world. Want to challenge him? It is impossible to win. The reason why Morgans kept exaggerating his description of Luo Qiye and constantly exaggerating the strength of Luo Qiye was not because of the collision between the new era and the old era, but because his newspaper office and his news became the real big names in the world. Explosion. However, what he doesn't know is, Luo Qiye, the traveler, has guessed all of this. Only 090 is. He Morgans is using Luo Qiye is using him Morgans. Use him to attract more people's attention. The more the merrier. When Luo Qiye lands on the Moby DK, you can get more pretense points. That is destined to be a burst of pretentious harvest. Luo Qiye's heart is moved by the volume, and he will be excited to pretend to be aggressive just thinking about it. So, all of this is with the tacit approval of Luo Qiye. Otherwise, with Luo Qiye's temper, how could he let this be D, Morgans, be free? Come on Qiye. Morgans looked in the distance, and vaguely saw a huge pirate ship, constantly appearing from the sea level. Although he still couldn't see the whole picture, he could judge the size of the pirate ship from the huge size of the pirate ship. Over there is the mammoth that Luo Qiye is currently riding on. This moment, the pirates who have already arrived in this sea area ahead of time, waiting for the battle to start, all looked at the looming huge pirate ship. He came close. Come on Qiye. At this moment, I don't know how many people are whispering. I don't know how many eyes looked at the huge ship that appeared from the sea level. 077. Fire Calamity Jin. In Qiye, what's the use of it? Seek full order. Ask for automatic subscription. Close black lens bracket. Novel image. Advertisement. A pair of eyes, almost looking at the sea level at the same time. A pirate ship keeps growing until it becomes a monster. However, everyone broke their glasses. This huge ship is not the mammoth. This is a result that no one has imagined. What's the situation? It's not the mammoth. That boy named Qiye hasn't arrived yet. What a terrifying coercion. Are you also here to challenge the Whitebeard pirates? This pirate ship belongs to the Beast's pirates too. Flying the flag of the Beast's pirates. Such an exaggerated hull. Is it also a big sign for the Beast's pirates? The pirates watching from a distance were still discussing, when suddenly a tall and burly man dressed in jet black, with a pair of black wings, and a black mask with exaggerated spikes on his face, appeared from the cabin. Step by step to the front of the deck. The most surprising thing is not his black attire, nor the pair of black wings, but the back of his head. There is a golden flame burning. It looks terrifying. Hiss. Someone suddenly gasped. Even though the distance was very far away, he subconsciously took several steps back, and whispered in horror, the first of the three major disasters of the Beast's pirates. Flame Disaster Jin. Wow. An uproar ensued. Hiss. It turned out to be Flame Calamity Jin from the Beast's pirates. Why did he come here? This is the territory of the Whitebeard pirates. Aren't you afraid of causing a war between the two Four Emperors pirates? Cause a war between the two pirate groups of the Four Emperors. Idiot, how could you say such stupid words? A boy named Qiye drove Drought Jack into the bottom of the sea, killing hundreds of Beast's pirates. Member Qian, you robbed the mammoth. What do you think Fire Calamity Jin is doing here? Of course it's revenge. But, will the Whitebeard pirates allow him to run wild in their territory? I don't know. A bounty of 1.39 billion berries. Flame Calamity JH. How terrifying will it be? Except for the Four Emperors. I can't think of anyone who can stand shoulder to shoulder with them. I don't know if that boy named Qiye can fight against him. Is this a showdown with Flame Calamity Jin before 7 Nights fights Whitebeard? Advertisement. I don't know how many pirates are watching from a distance and talking constantly. And at this time, on board the gigantic Moby DK, the captains of the Whitebeard pirates stood up one after another. They all looked in the direction of Flame Calamity Jin. Dad, the people from the Beast's pirates want to mix things up too. Father, why don't you beat him up? People of the Beast's pirates, aren't you afraid to start a war between us? Maybe it's the trouble with that kid named Qiye from the Redhair pirates. But, this is our territory. Then it's their turn to play wild with the Beast's pirates. Daddy, many captains looked at Whitebeard one after another. And at this time, Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, known as the strongest man in the world, is hanging on a vial, with a special hose wrapped around his nose, and the huge vials are constantly injecting him with potions. As a person, one day he will grow old. The lifespan of the human heart will eventually end, and it will eventually grow old. And Whitebeard, that's it. Hoo la 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 la. However, Whitebeard laughed loudly. The hearty and heroic laughter spread from the Moby DK to the entire sea level and reached the ears of countless pirates. The vibrating sound was the same as that of Whitebeard when he was young. No less than before, if he has the courage, he will board the Moby DK. If he wants to provoke a war with us, we will accompany him. Hoo la 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 la. Why do you have to lower yourself to find him? What about Beast's pirates? What about the great Kanban Flame Calamity Jin? Even Kaido of the Beasts, after all these years, would not dare to confront Whitebeard head on. Daddy, Marco opened his wings, and the light blue flame wings of life appeared. The flame wings flapped, and he flew into the air, looking at Yan Calamity Jin from a distance. Brother Xiaoma didn't say much. His meaning is very clear. Advertisement. If Yan Calamity Jin dares to move forward, he will definitely attack. Both sides are full of gunpowder. The invisible smoke of gunpowder pervades the sea. The tense atmosphere hangs over everyone. Morgans has already made preparations, passing on the latest information one by one to his subordinates, sending them to every economic newspaper base, and starting to print out the latest information one by one. This moment, everyone is waiting for the protagonist of this epic battle to appear. Only, on the sea, New pirate groups are constantly coming, but there is still no sign of the mammoth, and no arrival of Luo Qiye. Captain, we came just in time. Among the pirate ships, on one of the pirate ships, a big man said excitedly, just this magnificent scene makes people's blood boil uncontrollably. Oh. The captain he was talking about, a woman with long pink hair in denim overalls, was currently burying her head in eating a large piece of barbecue. She stuffed a whole piece of barbecue into her mouth, ate it like a jujube, and then took a large plate of pizza, stuffed it into his mouth, and said vaguely, has Qiye appeared? No, Captain, stop eating. That's right, Captain, you've already eaten the weight of 50 people. This person is precisely because of the stomach king Jewelry Bonnie. Jewelry Bonnie didn't follow the crew's advice, and ate a few more pizzas, then wiped her mouth and showed a satisfied smile. Qiye Zhao Li Zhao hasn't arrived yet. She looked up and saw can't help the horror scene. Where's the red hair pirates? The roar is coming. It was Yan Calamity Jin who turned into a pterosaur and flew to the sky with flames. His sharp and terrifying voice pierced through the clouds and the sea, and reached the ears of every pirate. It was extremely shocking. Red hair pirates, do you want to be a coward for the rest of your life, not daring to come out and fight me? The incomparably violent sound pierced the sea level, how overbearing, the echoes kept ringing. Just at this time, an extremely awe-inspiring voice suddenly sounded from the sea level. This voice is not overbearing, but it breaks the echo of Flame Calamity Jin, breaks the approach of sea level, it is more moving than overbearing. What are you doing in Shachiye? 078. I don't like people talking over my head. Fujitora shot with a smile. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Accompanied by the sound of, what's the matter in the next 7 nights, resounded across the sea. Above the sea level, the mammoth quickly broke through the blue sea and appeared in everyone's sight. Many pirates looked over one after another. The incomparably huge mammoth came across at a super fast speed, and dragged out a super long track on the sea, like a long dragon. It's finally here. This is the mysterious boy from the Red Hair Pirates, born monster. It is rumored that he can control swords. When a sword strikes, thousands of swords and swords resound in unison. The mighty sword can run for thousands of meters, like a long river of swords and swords. It's more than that. I have witnessed with my own eyes that he received the sword with his bare hands, and he received the Drought Jack slashed with 2 sharp blades. I witnessed it later. He opened the sky gate with 1 sword, and a sky was cut into the sky. Make way for it. The sword comes from the sky, and with just 1 move, the mighty Drought Jack will be cut into the sea. Tisk. Where did this monster come from with such abilities? This ability is not like demon fruit power. It doesn't look like it. But how to explain his ability? In this world, is there any other ability? Could it be, is he a mysterious race left 500 years ago? A race that was once above the nobles of the world. This monster is too terrifying. How can you and I guess him? Exclamations continued to ring out. And the mammoth that broke through the sea level is getting bigger and bigger, and finally, it is completely close. Shua. A flame rises into the sky. However, he saw that Yan Calamity Jin, who was originally staying on the big pirate ship, suddenly spread his wings, and the black wings shook suddenly, and he lifted up vertically, flying into the sky with golden flames, looking down at the mammoth in the distance. Luo Qiye on board. Are you the red hair pirate's kid who cut Jack into the sea? Flame Calamity Jin spoke, and the voice contained terrifying coercion and a creepy killing intent. Shoot him down. I don't like people talking over my head. Luo Qiye stood on the bow of the mammoth with his hands behind his back. He didn't even glance at Yan Calamity Jin's question, ignored it, and didn't even raise his head to look up, but just spoke calmly. But this calm voice spread in all directions. The voice is obviously plain and unremarkable, but it is full of history. Into the ears of Flame Calamity Jin above, in the ears of the Whitebeard pirates not far away, and in the ears of every pirate in the distance. What does that boy named Qiye mean? So domineering, so arrogant. Is this the mysterious boy from the Red Hair Pirates? Even though he looks only in his teens, he looks like a king. Advertisement. He has this strength. But, what he just said was, shoot him down. Could it be that he has any subordinates? Didn't you see the cadre of the Red Hair Pirates? Behind him, there seems to be only a middle-aged man in a purple robe. Who is he? The pirates in the distance were surprised and disgusted. Not far away, everyone in the Whitebeard Pirates also felt strange. Although they are the real kings above the sea of New World. When facing Yan Calamity Jin, a top vice-emperor powerhouse. Also dare not take it lightly. Will not underestimate the enemy. Seeing Flame Calamity Jin flying into the sky, the captains of the Whitebeard pirates put their hands on their weapons one after another. Even ready for battle. Here is the pressure from Flame Calamity Jin. Luo Qiye, who was facing the Flame Calamity Jin, had his hands behind his back, as if he didn't even bother to look up. Just to shoot him down. How calm and calm. Many pirates in the Whitebeard pirates also opened their mouths. This kid is kind of weird. I don't know how strong he is. The previous 10 weights were described in the World Economic News. There must be exaggerations. Looking at his appearance, it seems that he is not ready to make a move. Is there any strong person around him who can compete with Yan Calamity Jin? The man in the purple robe. He was a very ordinary middle-aged man. It seems to be a blind man. Don't underestimate anyone just because of their looks. Sieb. Marco from above said, it's just that he's from the Redhair pirates. Ha ha ha, this kid suits my appetite, I don't want to see someone talking on my head. Hey, Joes, what do you want to express? Brother Marco is still on top of us. I just want to see what the rumored young man named Qiye can do to defeat Drought Jack and have the guts to challenge Dad. Don't say they don't know. Even Baron Dandan and Stussy behind Luo Qiye. I also don't understand the meaning of Luo Qiye's words at all. Advertisement. Master Qiye. Stussy looked nervous, and reminded in a low voice, except for your move, the sword technique of cutting open the gate of heaven, we don't have the ability to attack from high altitude. Baron Eggy is also very nervous. He is in a dilemma now. He didn't complete the ant's task, and he didn't dare to escape directly. But in the face of Yan Calamity Jin's level of Deputy Emperor powerhouse, he has no chance of winning at all, and staying here is completely courting death. Originally thought that Luo Qiye was just a trip to the Whitebeard pirates. With the consistent style of the Whitebeard pirates, Luo Qiye will not be killed because of the probability. After all, Luo Qiye's identity is in front of him, as a member of the Redhair pirates, even the Whitebeard pirates must give Redhair face. Baron Eggy planned this way from the beginning, when Luo Qiye met Whitebeard, he invited him to take a trip to the world with him. But he never expected that he had already reached his destination, and he would kill a fire disaster Jin. It is an invincible existence. Master Qiye, why don't we run away? Baron Eggy also reminded in a low voice. All this is a long story, but in fact it only happened in a short period of time. Everyone doesn't understand what Luo Qiye means. When Flame Calamity Jin above heard these words, the flames dancing on his wings became more lush and frantically beating, which represented the killing intent in his heart, which became stronger. Little brat, bluffing will only show your cowardice and incompetence. Flame Calamity Jin was condescending, looking down, you can defeat that brat Jack, which means that I am qualified to let me personally kill you. The pterodactyl he turned into had a pair of sharp eyes staring at Luo Qiye with terrifying murderous intent, and those pair of dragon claws with a terrifying aura pointed at Luo Qiye. Flame Calamity Jin is about to strike. But at this moment. Tread. The clogs made a soft sound when they stepped on the deck. The blind purple-eyed uncle who had been quietly guarding behind Luo Qiye took a step forward, holding the wooden crutch with both hands, and using both hands slowly, the wooden crutch pulled out a piece of sword. A flash of coldness. As the captain said, the one above, too. Come down. The terrifying breath erupted in vain. 079. As soon as it comes out, it shocks the audience. Little brother begs for a full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Boom. A terrifying roar sounded. My god. Look quickly. Look. Heaven. That's. Hiss. Just in an instant, all the pirates raised their heads at the same time, and looked towards the sky. Above the blue sky, a gigantic meteorite suddenly appeared. The meteorite was burnt into terrifying lava, and with a terrifying roar, it fell from the sky towards the sea. On the Moby DK side, Marco raised his head suddenly, his pineapple hair was thrown crookedly, but he didn't realize it, his eyes were squinting, his whole body was tense, and the blue flame couldn't help but flourish. A few minutes, meteorite. Same. All members of the Whitebeard pirates looked up at the sky. Whether it is an ordinary member, or a cadre at the level of the captain. They all showed surprise. What ability is this? I've never heard that there is such an ability above this sea. He is not from the Redhair pirates, but that subordinate named Qiye. This ability, a great coercion. Many captains spoke. In the audience, only Whitebeard was still holding the super bowl, drinking freely, and laughing heartily. Wow, it's getting more and more interesting. Ahead, many pirates of the Beast's pirates were shrouded in meteorites, but their faces changed dramatically. That meteorite was crashing towards them. Captain. Master Jin. Yan Calamity Jin's subordinates all turned pale with shock, and couldn't help but exclaim. A meteorite. Flame Calamity Jin, who was the party involved, suddenly raised his head. His eyes burst into terrible flames. Killing intent boiling. It's just a meteorite. Flame Calamity Jin let out a long roar, and charged forward against the terrifying meteorite. The black pterosaur charged towards the sky with the meteorite, and its sharp dragon claws grabbed the meteorite directly. Crush me. If he doesn't go up, his subordinates below will be destroyed by meteorites. Boom. The pterosaur collided with the meteorite, and there was an earth-shattering roar. Advertisement. Boom. The Big Bang erupted in an instant, the meteorite exploded, and meteorite fragments, carrying flames, whizzed down like a fairy scattering flowers. Hiss. With just one claw, the meteorite exploded. As this the horror of Zone Dragon Fruit Ancient Species Pteranodon Form Ability Users. As expected of a reward of 1.39 billion and the first of the three major disasters of the Beast's pirates, the Flame Calamity Jin. The pirates who saw this scene in the distance couldn't help but gasped. Facing the meteorite without any fear, just scratching the meteorite with just one claw, this scene is extremely shocking. The visual impact is amazing. Good method. The combat power is very strong. Even members of the Whitebeard pirates couldn't help but marvel at the strength of Flame Calamity Jin. The strong will be respected no matter where they go. Even if it is a hostile force. No one will deny his tyrannical strength. Master Jin. The meteorite was caught and exploded. As expected of the captain. Many pirates from the Beast's pirates below are cheering. However, before they had just cheered, the moment they raised their heads, their faces changed dramatically. Boom boom boom. However, Above the sky, huge meteorites appeared one after another, with terrifying whistling sounds, and lava, falling down towards the bottom. Compared with the meteorite just now, it is even bigger and more terrifying. 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, more than a dozen huge meteorites fell from the sky, like a natural disaster, like a doomsday. The terrifying meteorites turned the entire sky red. It was as if the whole sky had turned into lava. The coercion of boundless terror covers the sky. Pieces of meteorites roared down mightily, enveloping the flames and embers, suppressing them. Hiss. In that instant, all the pirates of the beast's pirates below changed their faces drastically, and they were completely shocked. Don't even forget to run away. Forget about running away. All of them showed a sense of fear from the bottom of their hearts, just staring blankly at the mighty meteorite group in the sky. And the many pirates who were watching from a distance were equally horrified. This is a group of meteorites. Oh my god. The monster named Qiye, Tianmo is such a terrifying subordinate of the monster. The original person named Qiye was amazing enough, but I didn't expect. There is another strong person who makes everyone frightened. Advertisement. Similarly, the many pirates in the Whitebeard pirates were equally amazed. They thought it was not a big problem at first. At this moment, I felt a sense of oppression as if the 4 emperors were here. Asking for flowers. Even Whitebeard, who was drinking, couldn't help looking up. He didn't look at the meteorite, but at Luo Qiye, and the person in the purple robe behind him. Boom boom boom. Flame calamity amber can't retreat. Only hard steel. He caught and exploded one meteorite after another. In the next moment, a meteorite fell on his back, the terrifying lava splashed like sparks, and the terrifying destructive power even smashed the flames and embers down. Captain, Master Jin. At this moment, the pirates of the beast's pirates below woke up one by one, screaming. Meteor explosion. Flame calamity Jin fell down like a marionette. Boom. Flame calamity gems fell on the deck of the huge pirate ship below, smashing a deep hole, billowing smoke and dust, burning flames. The scene was extremely frightening. 0. Fortunately not disgraceful. Fujitora put the stick sword into the sheath with a smile, cupped his fists towards Luo Qiye, and said in a deep voice. Tread. Baron Dandan behind him subconsciously took several steps back. What ability is this? Baron Eggy was so shocked that he subconsciously blurted out, looking at the blind man behind Luo Qiye in disbelief. That blind man with a simple and unpretentious appearance turned out to be such a terrifying powerhouse. Before even pulling out the sword, he shot down the most powerful sign of beast's pirates, the flame calamity Jin. Very scary. Stussy gasped even more. There was only a trace of deep horror in her beautiful eyes at this moment, and she murmured in disbelief, Master Qiye, found such a terrifying existence. This monstrous combat power. No loss to Admiral of Headquarters. And such a terrifying powerhouse unknown to the world is actually Luo Qiye's bodyguard. Wrong. This scary uncle has joined Luo Qiye's peace team. While Stussy was horrified by Fujitora's terrifying strength, he was also shocked by Luo Qiye's ability like never before. Why was he able to discover such a strong man as strong as the Admiral of Headquarters and take it for his own use? FTE. Where did the information come from? And how did he know the true strength of the blind swordsman in front of him? When Stussy thought of Luo Qiye's composure before, and his indifferent performance of not even looking at the flames and Jin clamoring in the sky, Luo Qiye became more certain that Luo Qiye knew the true strength of the blind swordsman from the very beginning. Pill. 080. Kingdom of God. A secret that surprises Whitebeard. Who the hell are you? Advertisement. Very scary. Even his subordinates, are they so terrifying? Flame calamity Jin was knocked down by him. With such strength, is it invincible under the 4 emperors? It's hard to imagine how terrifying that Lord Qiye's strength is. Captain, you said that you knew this boy named Qiye before. Is it true? On the Bonnie pirate ship, a group of subordinates were amazed. And Jewelry Bonnie, who witnessed this scene, was already as dumb as a chicken. Before she came, she even wondered whether the news in the newspapers were stories written by her. But the Qiye she knew before, although very strong, was completely unable to reach the level of one sword strike, commanding thousands of swords, mighty like a long river of swords. Just one move, the weather of the sky and the earth will be changed, wind, rain, thunder and lightning to avoid and defeat the Drought Jack's level. With such a mood in mind, Jewelry Bonnie rushed to this, 220, c. Want to find out, is the Qiye on the headlines of the World Economic News the one I know? When she recognized Luo Qiye, she was only worried that he would be over-mythologized, and worried that he would be killed by the Whitebeard pirates or the Beast's pirates. Until now, she witnessed one of Luo Qiye's subordinates attack with her own eyes. Meteorites fell all over the sky, and shot down the flame disaster, Jin, the first of the 3 major disasters of the Beast's pirates. She just realized it. I seem to have misjudged Luo Qiye's strength from the very beginning. Is there a possibility that all the mythical deeds in the newspapers were done by people behind Luo Qiye? And he is just an illusion pushed out. Jewelry Bonnie tried to think of it this way. But she also thought of the short time she spent with Luo Qiye. Although Luo Qiye's performance is very arrogant and his words are sharp, he is indeed not the kind of person who has no strength and only brags. All his arrogance is based on strength. B. Is he still the brat he knew? Captain. Seeing that Jewelry Bonnie didn't answer, the cadre next to him asked again, do you really know him? I know him. But he may not. Jewelry Bonnie murmured, remember me. Mammoth. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you got plus 10,886 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Unexpectedly, as soon as I arrived at the scene, I received more than 10,000 pretense points. Luo Qiye showed a look of joy. He still didn't look at Yan Calamity Jin, but looked at the Moby DK of the Whitebeard pirates, and said with a smile, at Sha Qiye, come and offer a big gift to the day. The two pirate ships face each other far away. On the Moby DK, the captains of the Whitebeard pirates set their sights on Luo Qiye. However, before they could speak, the beast's pirates who were in the middle were all furious. This brat completely ignored us. Damn, how dare you act so presumptuously in front of us beast's pirates, don't take us seriously at all. Damn the Redhair pirates. We, the beast's pirates, will avenge this revenge sooner or later. Wow, at this moment, from the hole that was billowing with thick smoke, the burly and tall figure of Yan Calamity Jin flew out. Master Jin, Captain, many pirates from beast's pirates have opened their mouths. Imps from the Redhair pirates. Flame Calamity Jin has turned back into a human form, the pair of black wings still have flames beating. He stared at Luo Qiye, you may not be able to board the Moby DK alive today. Want to kill me? Luo Qiye smiled slightly, and there was a curve on his slightly immature handsome face, with endless arrogance, you can try it. Are you guys from the Redhair pirates all such fast-talking people? The flame sprang out from behind Yan Calamity Jin, and the pair of black wings behind him opened again. The wings that were tens of meters long were constantly swaying with flames, which was extremely frightening. Wait until I tear your mouth apart. It's rotten, and then bring the rotten head with its mouth to the Redhair in person. Don't think you ate a devil fruit. Luo Qiye stepped forward, the black windbreaker on his body was rattling by the sea breeze, his eyes finally fell on Yan Calamity Jin, but the next sentence moved everyone, I just think that, can kill me. I don't even dare to show my true colors in front of the world, and I'm dying. The Lunaria clan. As soon as this sentence comes out. Flame Calamity Jin froze. What? Stussy behind Luo Qiye even exclaimed on the spot. Flame Calamity Jin is the Lunaria clan that was wiped out hundreds of years ago. Isn't the Lunaria family all dead already? Advertisement. How can this be? As the CPO, Stussy knows a lot about the world government, about the world noble celestial dragons. The Lunaria tribe, what is it? On the sea in the distance, many pirates of this race showed surprise when they heard about it. They seem to, first time hearing about this species. Lunaria clan. It turned out to be the Lunaria family. On the tallest pirate ship, Morgan screamed, Jin, the first of the three major disasters of the beast's pirates, turned out to be the remnant of the Lunaria tribe. This is absolutely shocking news. World the government will definitely be very interested. President, what is the Lunaria family? The reporter below asked, and the pirates in this sea area listened attentively. They are also curious. What exactly is the Lunaria family that Luo Qiye talks about? Hundreds of years ago, Red Line had a God's kingdom, and the Lunaria tribe was called God. Morgan screamed, during the 100 years of history that disappeared, the Lunaria tribe was slaughtered by the current world nobles. The so-called kingdom of gods also perished. The more Morgans talked, the more excited he became. I didn't expect that Flame Calamity Jin turned out to be from the Lunaria tribe. What a big news. It turned out to be a clan of gods that disappeared hundreds of years ago. But, why does that young man named Qiye know such a secret life experience? Can anyone explain this? Explain what? Isn't there still a lot of secrets about the Qiye boy? At the age of 10, he has the strength to challenge Whitebeard. This kind of terrifying talent and strange ability is enough to show that his 0.6 status is not ordinary. Quote. The pirates kept talking. And on the Moby DK. For the first time, Whitebeard's face finally showed surprise, and his deep voice sounded, the Lunaria tribe, those ancient legends have always existed. It's just. Why does this kid from the Redhair pirates know this? Marco and the other team captains also had a look of seriousness on their faces. It's this moment. For the appearance of Luo Qiye, they took it seriously. And the beast's pirates sighed. Yan Calamity Jin's terrifying eyes stared at Luo Qiye, and the flames kept rising behind him. Who the hell are you? Luo Qiye stood proudly, not as if he was speaking to Yan Calamity Jin, but more like telling the world, with a voice like a god reading out the ancient scriptures, it's okay to tell you. 081. Whitebeard, come be my son. Qiye. Fifth more complete order. Novel image. Advertisement. From the moment I came into this world, I was doomed. Luo Qiye paused slightly, his voice resounded across the sea, penetrated an unknown distance, and the sound reached the ears of everyone in this sea area, and continued, we need the existence that everyone in this world looks up to. Quote. Yan Calamity Jin originally thought that Luo Qiye would reveal some identity secret, but in the end, he still uttered wild words, little devil, I will kill you today. Let you know what is the insurmountable gap in real strength. Quote. Boom. Flame Calamity Jin goes berserk in an instant. He transformed into a pteranodon form, the black dragon wings shook suddenly, with endless anger and killing intent, leaving a trail of flames in the air, rushing towards Luo Qiye. The pirates in the distance all stared wide-eyed. They didn't get the answer they wanted. Still amazed. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you will get plus 10000 pretending points. Close black lens bracket. This can earn 10,000 pretense points. It is indeed a big scene. It seems that today, I must seize the opportunity and reap a wave. Otherwise, I'm sorry for Morgan's hard work. Uncle Yishao, I hate this ugly pterosaur, especially the mask on his face. When Luo Qiye opened his mouth, he didn't even frown, and his steps didn't stop at all. He walked up to Wble and softly shouted, "Sword." The swords in the hands of the pirates on the beast's pirates moved together, broke free from the shackles of the pirates, and all flew up, mightily, towards Luo Qiye. Boom. At the same time, Fujitora strikes again with a smile. The moves developed by the fusion of gravity fruit and swordsmanship are extremely powerful. Meteorites fall from the sky. At the same time, the terrifying gravity of gravity appeared in the light calamity body training weak. Forcing the flame calamity Jin, who was going straight to Luo Qiye, I had to change the trajectory. Boom boom boom. Under the terrifying gravity attack, gigantic holes with invisible bottoms appear on the surface of the sea. These holes seem to be able to swallow everything. In the blink of an eye, everything will disappear in the holes. Advertisement. Stussy and others are terrified. Secretly, even if it is a real big pirate, if he is not careful in the face of such an attack, he will die in the sea. And Luo Qiye here. The mighty sword had already flown to the front. Luo Qiye twisted Wble like a chicken, stepping on top of the sword. Then, the sword flies mightily, carrying Luo Qiye, fly towards the Moby DK. The flames of war around him did not affect him at all. The pirates in the distance feel their scalps go numb. Everyone was amazed. As the newspapers said, he really can command thousands of swords. How could it be fake? Not only can he command swords, but his sword skills are also amazing. I don't know if he is stronger or weaker than Hawkeye, the world's #1 swordsman. He doesn't seem to be worried at all about the battle between the blind swordsman and Yan Calamity Jin. This is the confidence. The speed is so fast. Going to log into the Moby DK. Pirates don't want to miss the battle between Fujitora's smile and Flame Calamity Jin, and they don't want to miss Luo Qiye's figure. Seeing that Luo Qiye is about to log into the Moby DK, many pirates shouted. Moby DK aboard. Many captains of the Whitebeard pirates stood up one after another. As what he is holding in his hand the meeting gift he threatened to give to Dad. Diamond Chow said in a deep voice, at such a young age, his courage and strength are already enough to disdain this sea. I really want to fight against him. Joe's Foil Vista stared at Luo Qiye, and said, you can go up and try it now, I want to know, how much destructive power will his flashy sword skills have? As a great swordsman, he has already paid attention to Luo Qiye's swordsmanship that is completely different from this world. In the view of Foil Vista, the more gorgeous the sword technique is, the lower the lethality will be. Don't do anything. Marco stopped Diamond Jazzy's behavior in time. A visitor is a guest. We Whitebeard pirates must not lose the way of hospitality. Is talking. Advertisement. Luo Qiye has stepped on thousands of swords and came mightily. My next Redhair Pirates Hepping fan team, fan leader Luo Qiye. Luo Qiye opened his mouth, and he threw the incomparably huge Wble in his hand to Marco, and continued to smile and said, for 4 Emperors Whitebeard, a gift for meeting. Who is this? Marco, who has been flying in the form of a phoenix, grabbed Wble with one claw, and his eyes fell on the latter's Crescent Bay Whitebeard, which was exactly like his father. How can there be a second Whitebeard like my father in this world? Ask your father Whitebeard about that. When Luo Qiye saw Marco fall, he stepped from the sword and landed on the Moby DK. He laughed and said, his name is Edward Wble. This guy's hands and feet have been broken many times, and healed many times, and his vitality is not inferior to that of the Moby DK. When your father was young. I came today just to see him reunited with Whitebeard, father and son. Gu la la la. At this time, Whitebeard, who was sitting in the center of the Moby DK, let out a burst of iconic laughter. He didn't care about Wble, but looked at Luo Qiye, Qiye little ghost picture a Peace Corps. Just now, I announced the establishment. Luo Qiye looked at Whitebeard. The most central location. Whitebeard Edward Newgate was sitting on the big chair. The original big wine bowl in his hand disappeared, replaced by a wine barrel. The huge wine barrel looked like a toy in his wide palm. Wearing a white coat, with explosive muscles all over his body, 257 has a scar running through his entire chest in front of his body, which is very ferocious and shocking. The crescent-shaped white beard is particularly eye-catching. Almost exactly as depicted in the manga. The shocking feeling of being able to face Whitebeard directly is incomparable in both anime and manga. Only when you really see Whitebeard, can you feel the invisible majestic coercion. Luo Qiye's first impression of Whitebeard, in addition to his burly figure, the most intuitive impression is his bravery and an invisible charisma of leadership. Is this the strongest man in the world? Luo Qiye smiled and said, a reward of 5.046 billion berry. Edward Newgate. Gu la la la. Whitebeard didn't seem to mind Luo Qiye's scrutiny at all. He took a sip of wine, stretched out one hand towards Luo Qiye, made an inviting gesture, and laughed heartily, come be my son, wash the night boy. The sound was extremely loud, as if carrying a shock wave. It sounded like thunder, conveying a distance of an unknown number of kilometers. Come be my son, Qiye boy. These words are constantly echoing above the sea. Luo Qiye. 082. No matter whether there is one dust or two, there is no difference with the naked eye. Advertisement. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. As soon as this sentence came out, everyone froze. Whether it's the pirates watching the battle from a distance, or everyone on the Whitebeard pirate group. What's happening here? Is there a mistake? Whitebeard is inviting people from the Redhair pirates to join them Whitebeard pirates. Crazy. Whitebeard must be crazy. That's right. This boy named Qiye is here to challenge Whitebeard. Why do I feel like we've been cheated? Could we have all been deceived by the big news Morgans? It seems that the whole big event, from the beginning to the end, Luo Qiye never personally said that he wants to challenge Whitebeard. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Damn it, Morgans. In the distance, all the pirates who came to watch the four emperors battle with their arms in their arms turned their suspicious eyes to Morgans at the front. Why do you look at me like that? I'm not Whitebeard. Morgans realized that he had become the target of public criticism, so he almost jumped up to defend himself. He concealed, who can guess the mind of the four emperors? Besides, Whitebeard invited Luo Qiye to join the Whitebeard pirates. Doesn't it just show Luo Qiye's strength and get Whitebeard's approval? Everyone, now that the battle will not break out, is it too early to draw conclusions? Morgans' explanation made many pirates quiet down. Indeed, the two sides have only just met. Who can be sure that war will not break out in the end? WWW. Even the Flamebane Jin in battle couldn't help being shocked when he heard Whitebeard say this. If Luo Qiye joins the Whitebeard pirates, then I will definitely return without success today. Only, Fujitora's smile didn't give him a chance to escape. The battle between the two continued unceasingly, with extremely strong destructive power, and an earth-shattering sound erupted. The meteorite exploded, the sea turned upside down, and the flames flew away. The presence of the Whitebeard pirates is not just the Moby DK. There are also many pirate groups under the Whitebeard pirate group. Advertisement. At this time, they were all surprised when they heard what Whitebeard said. Moby DK aboard. Many captains were very surprised when they heard what Whitebeard said. The way they look at Luo Qiye has changed. Daddy, are you kidding me? Diamond Joes asked in surprise. Daddy. Many captains looked at Whitebeard one after another. Obviously this brat is here to challenge your status. But many members of the Whitebeard pirates, on second thought, seem to agree with Dad's open-minded personality. As long as it's not family members hurting each other. He can handle it all. Challenge Whitebeard. At the beginning, Ace also challenged Daddy. Marco said in a deep voice, then become our family. He looked at Luo Qiye. Luo Qiye, do you want to accept Dad's invitation to join our Whitebeard pirates? Ha ha. After being speechless for a while, Luo Qiye couldn't help laughing. He turned his head to look at Marco the pineapple head. Marco, I still need a ship doctor, why don't you join my Hepping Fan team? After Luo Qiye finished speaking, he looked at Foil Vesta again, and said with a smile, Vista, do you want to improve your fencing skills? Join my nuclear team, and I can teach you. Hey, Qiye kid, you are digging people like this in front of us, it seems a bit unreasonable. Diamond Chows looked at Luo Qiye. Besides, what ability do you have? Let us join you. It is rumored that you can catch swords with bare hands, and I, Chows, will be the first to not believe it. Ha ha ha, a rumor is a rumor after all, how can it be true? Hey, Qiye kid, do you need an actor? I can control my strength very well, and let you complete the feat of catching a sword with your bare hands. Shish, don't expose children's lies. On the Whitebeard pirates, many members laughed. However, all the captains did not laugh at it. People who know me well know that I have a weird temper. Luo Qiye looked at the mocking pirates lightly, and said with a half smile, I don't like people talking in my ears the most. Come down. Buzz. Advertisement. An invisible coercion was released from Luo Qiye's body. Boom boom boom. The few pirates who spoke just now turned their eyes white and fell straight down. Conqueror's Haki. Precise control. The captains of many teams narrowed their eyes and subconsciously exclaimed. He didn't expect that Luo Qiye would awaken the Conqueror's Haki. You know, this is only one out of millions of people, an existence with the spirit of a king. And there are very few who can successfully awaken Conqueror's Haki and achieve precise control. The rest of the pirates on the Moby DK were also amazed. What's more, put your hand on the weapon, ready to shoot at any time. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 4,680 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Much quieter. Luo Qiye spoke lightly, his eyes swept over those pirates who put their hands on their weapons, and said proudly, if you guys want to stand up and fight with me, just do it. But everyone here, be sure to go together. It's not that I'm pressed for time, I have plenty of time, but for me. Whether you remove one or two dust, it doesn't make any difference to the naked eye. When Luo Qiye said this, he deliberately glanced at all the non-fan captain members. In those eyes, there is a challenge. Normal ordinary people can't bear this provocation. What's more, they are members of the four emperors pirates who rule the sea. If you don't even have this bit of blood, how can you become Wang Qian Zhao, a new world pirate? Little rascal, dare to utter wild words. At this time, on the pirate ship next to the Moby DK, a bald pirate with a spider pattern spoke. His tongue sticks out and he wears two knives, one big and one small, making him a treacherous and cruel person at first sight. Rub. He leapt up, flew onto the Moby DK, pulled out the longest saber around his waist, and pointed the tip of the sword at Luo Qiye. Skard, the whirlpool spider under the banner of the Whitebeard pirates, please enlighten me. Luo Qiye, who was familiar with the original book, recognized this guy at a glance. In the original book, it was he who was instigated by Akainu in Summit War, and was the first to stab his father Whitebeard through the body with a sword. A coward like a mouse, is he worthy of a fight with me? Luo Qiye didn't even look at this big vortex spider, and waved his hand casually, go back. 083. Chi Yoruichi speaks, another big news destined to shock the world. Open black lens bracket seek full order close black lens bracket. Advertisement. The mighty river of swords that was originally floating above the Moby DK rushed towards it in an instant. Ding ding ding. Facing the densely coming swords, the vortex spider Skard desperately swung the sword in his hand. But this long river of swords is innumerable, and they are all in one body, which is not something he can fight against at all. Puff. A sword pierced into the arm of the vortex spider squad. Jingle. The big sword in his hand fell to the ground on the spot. Skard, who had no great sword, faced the river of swords and was forced to back quickly, and finally tripped at the side of the Moby DK ship and fell to the deck. Puff puff puff. Swords and handles, like the outline of a human body, were nailed around Skard's body, showing a circle of human-shaped swords. As for Skard, who was nailed to the circle of swords, his face turned blue with fright, and big cold sweat kept streaming down his forehead. Stop, squad. Are you all right? Luo Qiye, what do you mean? All this happened very suddenly, and the speed of Luo Qiye's attack was so fast that it caught people off guard. Many pirates in the Whitebeard pirates never thought that Luo Qiye would make such a decisive move. Don't give them any face from the Whitebeard pirates. Why did the Whitebeard pirates accept such a weak person as their banner? Luo Qiye glanced at the group of captains, and finally landed on Skard. 210 million berry reward. Did Naval Headquarters 410 have any misunderstanding about your strength? Oh, I remembered. You were sent by Roger the First. Really can't figure out why Roger would be interested in attacking a weakling like you after the gang wiped out the pirates. You, kill me if you have the ability. Skard roared with a distorted face. If Roger hadn't died, I would definitely seek revenge from him. Revenge. Luo Qiye smiled. With your strength. He looked directly at Skard, and his voice suddenly became louder, and the arrogant voice penetrated the sea and spread. Don't say that Roger is alive, you seek revenge on him. Even if it is his son, you will kill 10 of them. But he, still thinking about revenge. Hearing this sentence, the eyelids of Marco and the others jumped. A few of them sneak a look at Papa Whitebeard. And when Whitebeard heard the words, Roger's son, he couldn't help but look cold, and when he looked at Luo Qiye, he already had a touch of coldness. Don't you want revenge? Luo Qiye's voice kept ringing. I'll give you a chance, just because I'm afraid you won't be able to use it. Advertisement. Skard gritted his teeth with hatred. You haven't seen Roger's son, how do you know I can't kill him? I live to revenge. CEEG, as a fan of the original book, Luo Qiye didn't have much affection for the vortex spider Skard. Even though Oda kept whitewashing him, Luo Qiye still didn't like it. After the crossing, Luo Qiye has been thinking about the Summit War, and occasionally wondered, if Whitebeard punched Akainu at that time, if he was not injured, would he directly kill Akainu? Then I'll tell you. Luo Qiye laughed. Roger's son lives by your side. What? Shut up. The voices of Skard and Whitebeard sounded almost at the same time. Unexpectedly, Luo Qiye's voice sounded right after him. Fire Fist Ace, his mother Portgas D. Rouge, and his father Gal D. Roger. In other words, Ace is the son of One Piece Roger. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. Ace, how could he be Roger's son? Ace is my brother. Ah. Skard doesn't believe this is true at all, but to prove whether what Luo Qiye said is true or not, he only needs to ask his father to know the truth. His hate-filled eyes bulged, and with extremely complicated emotions, he turned his head to look at Whitebeard. Gotcha. The air around Whitebeard made a sound like glass shattering, and he was silent and never spoke. Ace, he is the son of Roger, the Pirate King. This. Does Dad know who he is? What exactly is going on? On the Moby DK, many members of the Whitebeard pirates were also shocked, their faces were full of disbelief. Only Marco and the other few captains locked their eyes on Luo Qiye. The shock in their eyes did not come from Ace's identity, but from why Luo Qiye knew this secret. And the pirates in the distance also heard Luo Qiye's words. All of a sudden, there was an uproar. Oh my god. This can't be true. How could Roger have a son? Whitebeard Pirates, the captain of the 4th Division, Fire Fist Ace, is the son of the Pirate King Roger. This is incredible. Incredible. Advertisement. Hiss. This news, if it is confirmed, the world government and naval headquarters will definitely take action against the Whitebeard pirates. If it is true, this is destined to be a big news that shocks the world. How did Luo Qiye know such a secret thing? What is his identity? All the pirates who heard the news were shocked. One Piece Roger, but the real king who opened the era of great pirates. It is the belief of countless pirates. In particular, One Piece, the great secret treasure buried in the final island, is the ultimate dream of countless pirates going to sea. I don't know how many pirates are rushing to it. And Luo Qiye can tell such secret information. What is his identity? This question has become a puzzle for all the pirates. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. Morgans kept jumping with excitement. In just a short time, I got 2 big news today. Fire Calamity Jin is from the Lunaria family. And Fire Fist Ace is actually the son of Pirate King Roger. Such shocking news will definitely cause a sensation all over the world. World government, naval headquarters, world nobles. Countless forces will be moved by it. Immediately, now, publish the headlines. Morgans immediately contacted the branches and bases of world economic news all over the world. Non-stop release of these two major news. Especially the news that Firefist Ace is Roger's son. It is released with heavy headlines. The world will soon fall into chaos. Aboard the Mammoth, Stussy was even more shocked. As a member of the world government's top spy intelligence agency, she didn't know such news. And Luo Qiye actually knew all of this. TTE. Who the hell? What is the identity? Can't the redhead tell him all this? With the logic of a normal person, even if the Redhair knows, it is impossible for him to tell this kind of secret news to a 10-year-old child. Do you want to notify the world government? At this moment, Stussy hesitated. 084. 5 elders shot. Skard stabs Whitebeard. The key plot, begging for a full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. These two shocking news were spread on the Grand Line at a jaw-dropping speed. IWC. Cake Island. Charlotte Linlin, aunt of the 4 emperors, the Lunaria tribe. If I can let him join my banner, what a perfect thing it would be. Charlotte Linlin took great pains to form IWC. Want a grand kingdom with all races in the world. In addition to the giant race, the current myriad kingdoms almost already has the vast majority of races. If the Lunaria clan, a clan of gods hundreds of years ago, can join the 10,000 kingdoms, what a sense of accomplishment it would be. No matter how bad it is, even if Flame Calamity Jin does not join her 10,000 kingdoms. It would have the same effect if she could give birth to a half-breed child like Charlotte Pudding. I don't know that B*********** D Kaido, how did he get so determined? Charlotte Linlin spoke softly, but no one answered her this question. And the other ace news, Charlotte Linlin doesn't seem interested at all. Red Line. Holy Land Mariajoy. In the center of the city named Pangu City, in the most luxurious and majestic palace. The 5 elders, the highest authority in the world government, also received these two pieces of news at the first time. The Lunaria tribe. There are still fish that slip through the net. Then someone should be sent to kill him. His current strength seems to be very strong. Who to send? It seems to be a person with the ability to eat the pteranodon fruit of the ancient species, can fly, and is fast, so I have to send Pelusalino. Can. Several 5 elders discuss quickly. The bald head said again, then about Roger's son, we should deal with it. Let Sengoku handle it. If he can't handle such a small matter, don't sit in that position anymore. Also, several 5 elders nodded and reached a consensus. The bald head continued, finally, why didn't Stussy, who was with Luo Qiye, not only didn't send any information back at the first time, but even up to now, she hasn't even heard of any information. Has she betrayed? Perhaps a mutiny. Advertisement. Then let someone kill her. She knows a lot of our secrets, such a person cannot live. Let who go? Spandam. That idiot. He doesn't have the ability to kill Stussy. What's more, if Stussy really rebelled, he must be loyal to that little devil named Qiye, and he will definitely make a move. Then let the CPO handle it internally. Moby DK aboard. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 20800 pretending points. Close black lens bracket. While Luo Qiye was ecstatic in his heart, he was also slightly worried. He hadn't planned to reveal Ace's identity. I wanted to pretend to be a wave of coercion, and harvest a round of pretense points, so I swaggered away. After all, with the character of Whitebeard in the original book, it is almost impossible to shoot him. But now it's different. There is a high probability that Whitebeard can't help but shoot himself. Daddy. At this moment, Skuyard turned his head in pain and looked at Whitebeard. With tears in his eyes, he asked loudly, is what he said true? Ace is Roger's son. Please be sure tell me the truth. The words have already reached this point. How could Whitebeard lie to his own son? Only, Whitebeard's heart at this moment is extremely painful. Ace is his son. Squad is also his son. The palms and backs are full of meat. What's more, at this time, there are countless pirates paying attention to this matter. How could he, Whitebeard, have lied to his own son? Even white lies. There will be a day of exposure in the future. Squad. Whitebeard's voice was deep, his voice that should have been bold and hearty, became hoarse and deep. I shouldn't have concealed the truth from you, the matter has come to this point, and there is nothing to hide. Luo Qiye did not lie. Ace is indeed Roger's son. Hiss. It turned out to be true. What Luo Qiye said is true. Whitebeard personally confirmed it. Advertisement. Unexpectedly, Roger, the One Piece King, has such a son as Ace. Asking for flowers. But Whitebeard knows that Ace is the son of Roger, why is he still willing to take it under his banner? You know, Whitebeard treats every member like a family member. When the pirates in the distance heard Whitebeard's words, they couldn't help but exclaimed. The secrets revealed by Luo Qiye are all true. Why? Why is this happening? Why is Ace the son of Roger? On the Moby DK, Skuyard howled in pain. He pulled out the long sword that had been nailed to his hand, and stood up with a distorted expression. Tears kept running down his face. He looked at Whitebeard and kept asking questions. This is not the result I want. Dad, Tell me, why have you kept hiding it from me for so many years? Why? 0. Son, if you have any hatred, Dad will bear it for Ace. I lied to you. If you want revenge, you can find me. Whitebeard suddenly spoke in a deep voice. He bared his chest without a trace of defense. It seems that as long as Skard makes a move, he will never defend, nor will he fight back. Daddy, squad, don't be impulsive. Marco and the others took a step forward one after another, getting nervous one by one. They will never allow Dad to be hurt. Don't move forward. Whitebeard waved his hand, motioning for Marco and others to stop. He looked at Skard gently. Child. Ah. Skard picked up the big sword that fell on the deck, grabbed the big sword with both hands, and rushed towards Whitebeard. If this sword falls, it will surely penetrate Whitebeard's chest. Whitebeard still has no defense, no dodge. Still bare-chested. He even kept a gesture telling Marco and others not to intervene. He bears all consequences alone. This is Whitebeard. Luo Qiye was shocked when he saw it. It reminded him of Whitebeard's performance in Summit War. It can be said that fans have reached ultimate. Ah. Skard roared, holding the big sword in both hands, and when he was close to Whitebeard, he stabbed the Whitebeard door fiercely with his sword. 085. Final ending. Whitebeard shot. Settle our scores. Imps from the Redhair pirates. Advertisement. No. Squad. Daddy. Many captains, including Marco, shouted nervously. But no matter how nervous they were, they didn't dare to stop them without Whitebeard's permission. Hiss. The pirates in the distance, seeing the scene of Skard killing Whitebeard, couldn't help but gasp. No one thought of it. The Whitebeard pirates will fight among themselves. No one thought that such a thing would happen today. Whitebeard really doesn't even need a little defense. Just open his chest and let Skard assassinate him. A real man has the spirit. Who in the whole new world doesn't know that Whitebeard cares most about his family? Skard has been blinded by hatred. How could he think he would shoot Whitebeard? This kind of hatred should be very painful, right? It's over. 627. Many pirates couldn't bear to look directly, and turned their eyes to the other side. Just when everyone thought Skard's sword would go right through Whitebeard's chest. Sudden accident happened. A burly figure rushed forward at the same time as Skard's great sword stabbed out. With one punch, just one punch, Skard was sent flying. Boom. Skard flew upside down and smashed the deck of the Moby DK. Puff. He suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood. Look at Whitebeard with hateful eyes. He saw a tall, fat, and very uncoordinated body with a white crescent beard, standing in front of Whitebeard. Squad wakes up in vain. The eyes that were originally blinded by hatred stared wide at that huge figure. That figure that suddenly appeared, who else could it be if it wasn't Wble? This sudden change made Skard stunned. Marco and the others were also stunned for a moment. Even after the false alarm, he breathed a sigh of relief. Many captains didn't get Whitebeard's permission, and they didn't dare to stop him, but they really understood the current physical condition of the old man. Just now, if Skard really pierced the old man with his sword, the consequences would be very heavy. Advertisement. Wble, who just woke up, stopped the sword. Just in line with the wish of Marco and other captains. The hatred they had towards Luo Qiye just because Ace's identity was revealed has been resolved a lot. You want to kill my dad? Wble, who was a bit naive, stared at Skard, and said like a child who hadn't grown up, my mother often said that the Whitebeard in the photo is my father, how dare you kill my father? Skard, Whitebeard, Luo Qiye. For a moment, Luo Qiye even felt that Wble was a little silly and cute. Born with divine power, comparable to a monster. The brain is missing a muscle. He looks like the silly son of a landlord. As a fan of the original book, Luo Qiye knows that Wable's evil comes from his mother. Wble himself, on the other hand, completely obeyed his mother's words. Perhaps out of ignorance of filial piety. Maybe it is a real mental problem, the brain is not working well. But from the analysis of his current behavior, he should be more filial. As soon as he woke up and saw his cheap daddy Whitebeard, he was going to be hurt, regardless of his own injuries. Luo Qiye had to sigh again. The vitality of Wble is really perverted to ultimate. After being knocked out by Baron Dandan many times, and even dislocating his hands and feet, he was able to heal again and again by himself. Dad, are you not hurt? Wble turned around and asked stupidly. This left Whitebeard speechless. This being who has been called the strongest man in the world, felt for the first time what a big head is. Facing Wble, his boldness and hardiness could not be displayed at all. Come be my son. Whitebeard said this sentence to countless pirates, and touched countless pirates, forming the current Whitebeard pirate group and the big fleet. But in the face of Wble, who took the initiative to come to recognize his father, Whitebeard couldn't say anything. Only Luo Qiye was complaining. Has Wble ever thought about a problem? How did his mother be so short and Whitebeard so tall? How did he have a son like him? Certainly, the stupid son of the landlord's family would not consider such a question. Dad, I'm sorry. Advertisement. After being punched by Wble, Skard also came to his senses. With tears in his eyes, he regretted painfully, I shouldn't have shot you. Fortunately, no actual harm was caused. I'm sorry, old man father, I am not worthy to continue to be your son. Fool, even the most stupid son, I will love you deeply. Not only did Whitebeard not mind this episode, he opened his heart to Skard again. Little Qiye, didn't I ask me before, why did I accept a child with weak strength? I will tell you now. As long as you get on my boat, no matter how stupid you are still my child. Knowing that these words were actually addressed to him, Skard was moved to tears for a moment. He felt ashamed again, ashamed to face Whitebeard and many families of the Whitebeard pirates. And Marco and other captains, as well as many members of the Whitebeard pirates, were moved to tears when they heard the words from the heart of the old man. Only Wble looked at Whitebeard stupidly, with a confused face, not knowing why. Dad, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have thought of shooting you. Skard was so ashamed, he turned his back to Whitebeard, and walked towards his Eddie Spider step by step. The hatred between me and Ace should not be transferred to Dad. Dad, and everyone else people. I, Squad, have no face against you. Just when Skard wanted to leave, Wble made a sudden move, and he punched Skard flying. If you want to hurt my dad, I won't let you leave easily. Thump. Skard was directly sent flying and fell into the sea, splashing waves of waves. Everyone in the Whitebeard pirates stared wide-eyed. What kind of monster is this guy that Luo Qiye brought to them? Out of your mind. Fortunately, Skard is not a demon fruit power. He was thrown into the sea and climbed up again. Come back, Squad. Whitebeard finally spoke. He ignored Wble at 0.7, but looked at Skard. Stop being selfish, idiot. Skard was trembling all over, and his heart was extremely complicated. But still on the Moby DK. The pirates in the distance saw this scene, and they all sighed. Who would have thought that all this would turn into a farce? However, right now, Whitebeard suddenly looked at Luo Qiye, the man who was called the strongest man in the world, for the first time. Stand up. Whitebeard's domineering aura is suddenly released, and the terrifying power that overwhelms the world, just showing the tip of the iceberg is enough to make people horrified. Time to settle the score between us. Imps from the Redhair pirates.